Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let me send out my announcements because it is time to bore you with facts and figures. Yes, that's right. I spent my entire lunch break auditing the tour run so far. It took a minute because those do. But the audit is done and the numbers are currently up to date, so that's always nice. I did eat, of course. I usually plan for my lunch to just be a reheat, so there's not much that goes into that. But I thought I'd share. I don't believe the order of the classes has changed, but I do have an up-to-date list of the golden numbers for the classes. I want to share one other thing, too. So, let me just go through it in order. The worst class is Jedi Knight. I know. Shocking. With negative 21.84. Trooper is negative 12.58. Neither of those are good. Smuggler is 17.45. Bounty Hunter is 35.40. Consular manages to drag its way up to average after the audit with 43.22, and Inquisitor skyrockets up to 132.44 after the audit. Now, that sounds about right, first and foremost. But the thing I wanted to share there is several people were saying that they don't agree that Bounty Hunter scored worse than Consular. And I just want to stress that that is entirely on the gameplay axis, because the golden number takes into account gameplay and story in a very complex series of formulas that I try not to share because there's just a whole bunch of them. Like, seriously, it's literally do this formula and then apply that result to this formula, and then apply that result to this formula, etc., etc. So I'm not going to bore you with all the specifics, but the reason I mention all that is because I imagine a lot of you who are playing Tor play it for the story. So if you're curious, here's just the story scores. Not in any order, because I'm just going to read this alphabetically. So Bounty Hunter has a net plus 15 to story. Consular has net plus 11. Pretty close to each other, actually, but as you can see, Bounty Hunter did beat Consular. Jedi Knight has negative 29 to story, which is absolutely bonkers. Smuggler has 11 to story, which puts it on par with Consular. And Trooper has negative 16. Oh, and I deliberately skipped over Inquisitor, which is plus 46. The real question is where Sith Warrior and Agent, the two big ones, will land. So this is going to be questionable and curious. I'm actually really curious where this is going to land. Some of you may be aware I've technically reviewed this before. It was actually in the previous system, so it doesn't count anymore. But we've already reviewed and shown the light side story. The light side story is, of course, completely... I haven't calculated the silver numbers yet. The light side story is completely mutually exclusive with the dark side story for Sith Warrior. So I will have to basically be reviewing from memory on that, which is not a problem, because I've done it several times. In fact, again, I've literally streamed it. So those scores I'll add in off camera at some point or another, but for the moment, we're just going to be reviewing pure dark side. With I am evil, moi, ha, ha.
At last you've arrived. Good, good. There is much to do, and every moment is critical. I'm Overseer Tremel. For decades, I have administered the trials that prove who is and is not worthy to join the Sith Order. The trials are a chance to weed out the weak. Those who face them either survive and become Sith, or die.
Mark my words, I am destined to be Sith.
It wasn't destiny that brought you here. Yes, you are here and ahead of schedule because of me. I expect you to obey. You face your trials, you serve me, and I will make you the most powerful acolyte here.
You had better be able to deliver that, Tremel.
Leave your doubt at the door. There's no room for it in here, and no time to waste. The trials themselves are difficult enough, but they are hardly the greatest threat you face. There's an acolyte here named Vemrin. He's your enemy, and he will try to kill you. We must prepare you.
Let him try. I'll destroy him.
With my guidance, someday you'll destroy all your enemies. That practice sword you've arrived with is insufficient. The blade of lesser acolytes. You need a dominating weapon. In the tomb of Ajunta Paul, there's an old armory. A strong Sith warblade awaits you there. The tomb is thick with claw slugs. Deadly savage creatures. Be speedy but careful. They've been the end of many an acolyte.
If they lack the instinct to avoid me, I'll feed them their heads.
Once you acquire the warblade, I suggest you spend some time in the tomb bloodying it. Then come to me in my chambers in the academy.
So this is a good time as any to mention the type of run this is going to be. And one of the reasons we went with male with it. So here's the thing. I actually think the Sith Warrior female voice is better when you're not evil. However, one big flaw of the female Sith Warrior voice actress is when she's trying to play evil. She's not very good at it. By contrast, the male sounds much better when being evil. So, now we're going to spend several minutes getting ourselves set up appropriately. One moment, please. Hello, Evo. Go on, give me the thing. I do not agree with that, Caspian. Time for a bloodbath. I can't even do it. I can't even do it. Nope, wrong button. Wrong button. There we go. Get that all fixed. There we go. Yeah, actually, Inquisitor's kind of similar. I would agree with that. Okay, so I need timestamps. Need to show alignment gain, and I need to allow access. And to auto-ignore dual requests, among other things. Let me fix our chat really quick. Get rid of all that crap. And that one. That should be everything. I didn't say the light side warrior was bad. Excuse me. I didn't say the light side male was bad. I said the light side female was good, and the dark side female was bad. The dark side male, much better. Oh gosh. Okay, there we go. No, Mike, come on, I've never had that happen before. What? No, I'm right. What is that pointing to? Oh. It is Evo. How did you guess? How could you have possibly learned that? That might be my Kamano. It does. The game does have a weird timeout policy. Excuse me. Literally not worth my time. I don't even know what that means, Dream Whisper. Oh yeah, it's great, Kiro. I love Lightside Warrior. It's fantastic. Probably my favorite individual story in the entire game. I thought I did, Arcana. Did it not save my preferences? Yeah, no, it's right there. It is set. This was like another option I'm not even familiar with. Oh, yes, we're doing full no really evil. With one exception. I answered all of them without you. Oh, what a dumb-looking sword. Because, again, most evil. Have to maximize evil output. Hello. Stick Zadinia? I'm probably nowhere even close to that. But hi. 3 months of work. Boy, I know what that feels like. Good lord. Hopefully this day is finding you as well as it can. Wouldn't you, Mike Romano? Yes, I am going to use a specific cosmetic. Wait, hang on. We're just up to this point, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Perfect. Okay. So, hang on. Before we move any further, let's go pay to make ourselves level 70 really quick. Let's see. Is this it? That looks like it. Let me double check. Yep, okay. Boop, done. Yes. Oh, I don't have enough coins for this one. Do you mind? Yep, time to go spend 40 bucks on the game. In order to not have to waste my time. I knew it! I always knew it, Evo. Secretly, you just really hate me. That's what it's all about. Okay, hang on a second. Yep, I know. Just gonna stand here and, be the most evil we possibly can. Hold up. Okay, that will be enough. Just double checking. That's right. We left that milk out of there on purpose. Yes, yes. Puppies. Not only did I leave the fridge door on, I left the water running in the sink. I ate the last of the Oreos from the box, and I didn't buy a new pack of Oreos. Oh, absolutely, Latario. She'd probably kill him, like, immediately. Oh, he's a problem. He needs to go away. I took a potato Oreo and ate... Wait, are there potato-flavored Oreos? Does anybody know? That sounds terrible. Oh, right, I have to claim. I always forget how this works. With this infinite power, I summon the power, the most horribly evil thing I can possibly imagine. Microtransactions. Where am I? Oh, right, yeah. Okay, so hang on, wait for it. There we go. Oh god, I'm on the fleet. I don't want to be on the fleet. Or am I on the fleet? Where am I? No, we're on Korriban. Okay, good. Why do I have to... See what our default gear looks like. Oh my god, it's hideous. This... That's really dumb looking. Oh, we're gonna do at least one cutscene with this, because this is rabonkulous. Oh, that's terrible. In a minute. I haven't answered any of them, Latario. Of course I haven't. I was deliberately waiting until you were here. I know this is going to sound strange, but I'm not actually a dick. I know. Shocking. Well, for now we're going to use this set because I think this is the perfect outfit for an up-and-coming Sith. Yeah, BioWare does not know how to do helmets. They never have. Like, ever. That's just a thing. Yes, Mr. Red. Oh, I shouldn't have answered that. Go ahead and grab my 41 million credits there. There we go. Alright. Over here, expand our inventory a couple of times. This over here. Oh, wait, I forgot something. Like, you've played Dragon Age Origins, right? You know what helmets look like in these games. Okay, so it's one of these ones. I never remember which. There it is. Actually, ironically, I like several helmets in Tor, but...
Hey there, Acolyte. Hold on a moment. Let me get a look at you.
What's up?
So you're Overseer Tremel's secret weapon. Impressive, to be sure. Afraid the old man waited too long to make his move, though. I'm Vemrin, and unlike you, I've fought and bled for everything I have. I demand respect.
You don't want to make me angry, Vemrin.
Believe it or not, I'm trying to keep you from getting killed. If Overseer Tremel had made his move a year ago when I first arrived, you might have had a chance. But now, too little, too late.
This is ridiculous, Vemrin. Let's just kill him and hide the body.
We're not on Balmorra anymore, Dolgus. There are rules, traditions. We'll leave the shortcuts to Overseer Tremel and his last pathetic hope here.
I'm going to take what's yours, and then I'm going to kill you.
You have no idea the enemy you're making. Coming, Dolgus?
Be right there, Vemrin.
Wow, a whole year at the academy.
Listen to me, you useless priss.
You suck.
Acolytes aren't allowed to murder each other. But accidents happen. It isn't murder without witnesses. No more warnings. Vemrin's the alpha monster here. You go after Vemrin, you die.
Good. You've returned. You seem to be in one piece. Tell me, how do you like your new blade?
I hope it's thirsty. I plan on drowning it.
What are you doing, Father? I only just got my warblade and I've been here 6 months.
I have my reasons, Escala. And you will not breathe a word of this to anyone. Do you hear?
Yes. Yes, Father.
Acolyte, this is Escala, my daughter. She's one of the advanced students here. On her way to becoming Sith. If she minds herself.
I'll keep quiet about your new charge, Father. But I won't be there if whatever you're planning blows up in your face.
Don't mind her, she's just sore that I'm keeping secrets. She growls, but she's loyal. Now, I thought I heard Vemrin's voice in the adjacent chamber before you arrived. Did he make his move so soon?
Yeah, I hate him already. I look forward to ending his miserable existence.
If things go well, you will have that satisfaction someday. Still, I'd hoped we'd have more time. Vemrin's not the type to sniff around for too long before trying to take a bite. In a drive for sheer numbers, the criteria for Academy admittance has been relaxed. Now anyone with Force sensitivity is allowed entrance. Vemrin is mixed blood, the invisible rot eating at the foundation of the Empire. He must not be allowed to advance.
So stop him yourself.
Unfortunately, Vemrin's caught the eye of Darth Barris, one of the most influential Sith Lords. He's being groomed to be Barris's new apprentice. As Darth Barris's apprentice, the power at Vemrin's fingertips will be considerable. He could change the Sith for the worse. You must proceed to your next trial immediately. I want you to interrogate 3 prisoners in the Academy jails and decide their fates. Consider each criminal's story carefully. The decisions you make will be scrutinized, so let your passions guide your judgments.
You'd better send someone to clean up after me.
The slave pens are right there. They have mops. Go to the Academy prison. Speak to head jailer Nash and return to me after you've passed judgment on the prisoners.
One more chirp from you, little bird, and you'll regret it.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Ow, jerk! If you don't like that, just say so. I can do other animals too. Dire cat, frog dog, quaking monkey lizard, you name it.
I'm Jailer Nash. I run these cells and slave pits. You're the acolyte Tremel sent for the test, right? He thinks highly of you.
Then I will repay his faith by sticking to my mission.
You should know this situation is highly unusual. Normally an acolyte goes off-world for the interrogation. Overseer Tremel, at these 3 shipped him for you. He thinks you're the next coming of Exar Kun. But you ought to know, Tremel ain't the only one paying attention to you. Now, these 3 prisoners have been transferred here for your inspection. You gotta interrogate them as needed, and then decide their fate. The convicted are usually executed, or given a trial by combat to see if they're worthy. Whatever you decide, you will be the one to carry out the sentence.
Show me to these soon-to-be-dead lowlifes.
Fine. Let's get started. This one on the left.
You freaks aren't getting anything new out of me. Just do whatever you're gonna do.
Let me make this plain as day. If you don't cooperate, I will kill you.
I'm not afraid to die.
Impudent to the last. As I was saying, she was sent to kill an Imperial spy in the Yavin system. Throughout her torture, she maintained that she was hired anonymously.
Get it through your damn head! I had no idea he was Imperial, and I don't know who hired me.
Regale me with the details of your operation. What was your chosen form of murder?
I didn't kill him. I was caught before I could pull it off.
The point is, she doesn't deny the charge. So now you must decide. Execution or trial by combat. Which do you choose?
She deserves to die. I'll kill her where she stands.
Be my guest.
Just get it over with.
She faced her death well.
Too bad she didn't beg.
Please, I am a fellow Sith. Spare me the assassin's ignoble fate. Grant me a trial by combat, I beg you.
Pipe down, scum. You will speak when spoken to.
This part of Waste is Davotech, once a valued Sith champion, until he botched an important mission and caused 1,000 Imperial deaths. Now look at him.
I served faithfully for 24 years. Then one mistake, and they threw me away. Now I have been left here to rot. Please, let me feel the weight of a weapon once more.
I don't do charity work. Feel the weight of a weapon in your throat.
I die a disgrace.
Good. I won't have to look at his sad, weathered face anymore. Thank you.
And he won't have to look at yours either, jailer.
Ah, well, this last prisoner's a bit of a puzzle. He's called Breg, and he's a jittery little wretch, suspected of supplying forged documents to Republic agents. Strangely enough, he maintains his innocence, despite being severely tortured.
Nebaga imana, naki naya, bila maknam unya kamnale.
Because I'm innocent. I am, believe me. You gotta believe me. I have nothing to do with forging the papers. I was set up.
Your ramblings are falling on deaf ears. Confess and the torture will stop.
Many things I've done in my life I'm not proud of, but Breg's not going to confess to something Breg didn't do. Did some time, I did, in our public jail for forgery. So I was the perfect candidate to implicate in this. But straight I've been since getting out, I swear.
He's never wavered from that line. And the evidence is circumstantial. I suppose it's actually possible he didn't do it. So, what do you decide?
I don't care if he's innocent or not. Torture him enough and he'll confess.
Please don't. It's not fair. It's just not fair.
Shut up, you fidgety fool. The decision's been made. Well, that's that. You're an interesting one, kid. I can see why people are keeping tabs on you. Head back to Overseer Tremel. See what he thinks of your choices.
You know, I said we were going to play evil. I feel like some people didn't believe me. So let me be very clear. We're playing cartoonishly evil. We are playing a sick thug. So, FYI. And a stupid mask.
Is this everything?
Everything Lord Renning was able to obtain, yes.
Then run back to your master in the beast pens before I cut you in half. Sorry to make you wait, Acolyte. These interruptions are incredibly annoying. On to the business at hand, your test in the jails. First, the assassin, Solence. She attempted to kill an Imperial spy, but was unaware of her client's affiliation. You killed her in cold blood. Why?
She failed her assignment. I do not abide failures.
No, but you can always turn someone's failure into personal profit. Never waste a potential resource. A trained assassin who demonstrated fortitude and amorality? The Empire could have utilized her skills. Now, Devotek, the former warrior, he wanted combat, but you struck him down. Perfect. The man was utterly useless.
I do not ever choose to waste my time.
Once something is used up, it should be eradicated. Lastly, the forger you sent back for more torture even though he seemed innocent. A strong decision. Leave no stone unturned.
The ripple from even a tiny stone can flow a great distance.
Well, look who just turned deep and insightful. It's always best to know beyond any doubt. After all, what is one man's sanity or life versus the fate of the Empire? You're beginning to understand what it means to be Sith, but you're far from being able to impress Darth Barris.
I'll try harder, Overseer, I promise.
If you don't, you're doomed. Remember that. Because I forced you into the Academy ahead of schedule, Darth Barris will be predisposed to judging you severely. And by severely, I mean fatally. Now, we must hurry to your next trial. Every moment that passes, we risk discovery before we're ready. In the caverns of Marka Ragnos is the beast he left to guard his legacy. Go there, sit among the flames, and wait for the beast to come for you.
Sounds like a good opportunity for violence.
Hold nothing back. This creature is doom itself. Return to the Valley of the Dark Lords, and find the tomb of Marka Ragnos. I'll see you when the beast is slain. Good luck.
We are already Dark 1. B. Palmer asks, am I enjoying playing evil characters more than good guys? No. I prefer playing a good guy.
At your service, my lord.
Let's see here. Do I think... Oh, I actually already answered that. Do you think Khajiit are closer to humans or felines in terms of biological makeup? Humans. I answered that question. There's actually a lot of questions in the queue right now. Remember when Dooku spilled the beans about Sidious to Obi-Wan on Geonosis? The Jedi take what Dooku said seriously. They would have compromised Palpatine's grand plan. Sidious never chastised Dooku for this as far as we know. So it's possible Palpatine never knew it. Yeah, actually, I always assumed that Palpatine never actually knew that. That was Dooku making a bit of a power play. One of the things that the more intelligent dark side users will tend to do is they will lie by telling the truth. So Dooku dangling something that is actually a truth in order to convince others, especially Obi-Wan, who he probably really wanted as a Padawan, or apprentice, if you will, makes a lot of sense to me. Of course, nothing ever came of it, so he just kind of let it drop. Ironically, later Palpatine would twist a similar thing right back on Dooku, by forcing Dooku and Ventress, who had a really strong alliance and almost friendship at that point in time, into enemy status by virtue of... I don't feel like going into it. Point being, he did something surprisingly smart there, and that was the end of that. Why do the Sith like killing each other? Well, there's this thing called the dark side. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's pure evil. And with no nuance, subtlety, or good writing in it whatsoever. Oh no, it's a turn to attack a Tick-2! My ancient nemesis. It's okay, we killed it. Honestly, I could see Palpatine killing Dooku over the loss of Anakin. Just in a flash of anger. Are we? Is that it? That's it. Okay. Boop. Yeah, I can't do either, Evo. I mean, I know what you're saying. You're doing an evil playthrough now. Nothing we're going to do here is going to be as bad as KOTOR 1. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Darth Cyclops, maybe? Darth Manam. There we go.
Well, look who's here. Remember me?
You need to move out of my way.
I put myself in your way, buddy. On purpose. Notice anything interesting? No witnesses. No witnesses means no rules. No more shortcuts. No more special treatment. You're just going to be another dead failure on Korriban. No! Hold up! Look, I was wrong. What they're saying about you, totally true. So, strong. I don't want to die.
Ask for no mercy and expect none. Die like a Sith.
I failed you, Vemrin.
So anyways...
We must speak quickly, Acolyte. There isn't much time. I may have made a slight miscalculation. The beast of Marka Ragnos was a great source of dark energy here on Korriban. When it was slain, there was a tremor in the Force. Darth Barris felt that tremor and has become aware of you. He demands an audience.
Do you think I'm ready for this?
It doesn't matter what I think. Ready or not, you must face him now. Barris is a serious man, but a master of deception. Everything he does and says is calculated. He will attempt to trip you up, test your nature, get to the heart of who you are. Always take him seriously. And I mean always.
I can handle Darth Barris.
Barris is usually the one doing the handling. We might not speak again, Acolyte. You're the best chance of stopping Vemrin. If you fail, I doubt there will be another strong enough. Good luck.
Meet Darth Barris in his chambers, and hurry. He won't take kindly to waiting.
So, Barris. It's really hard for me to pick who I like better between Zash, Thanaton, and Barris. I love all three characters to death. No pun intended.
There, Tino. I believe that's the one.
Really? All right. Hey, you!
Careful, Tino.
Come on, I'm antsy for some action. You there? Are you the big shot they're all talking about? The one who's been personally summoned by Darth Barris himself?
For your own good, curb your curiosity.
Please pardon my over-eager friend. It's just that we've heard so much about you.
And we want to get in good with you.
Tino? What my blunt partner here means is that if you need anything or anyone, say, dealt with, we'd like you to consider us.
She's talking about Vemrin. We'll kill him for you.
Sorry. I should have had Tino muzzled. So, what do you say? We know Vemrin tried to have you killed. Would you like him eliminated?
I'm preserving the pleasure for myself.
Far be it for us to rob you of such an experience, but consider this. There are rules. Acolytes are not to openly kill one another. Everyone knows of your rivalry. If you kill him, the Lords will presume your guilt.
But if Vemrin croaks while you get an alibi, people might be suspicious, but they won't be able to pin it on you. See?
I wouldn't be upset if Vemrin turns up dead.
Say no more. Go about your business. We'll handle this with utter discretion.
What does this mean, Fine?
It means Vemrin is a dead man, and we're going to have the most potent of allies.
By the way, this is how you successfully try to make the player character seem and feel powerful without constantly licking their boots. cough, Jedi Knight.
Most of you will not return from this endeavor. If you die, you will be forgotten. If you give up, you will be killed. Now, out of my sight.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
You should. This is the end of the line for you, Clemrel. Just make sure you stay out of my way.
Look here, Vemrin. I see the upstart, but no sign of Dolgus.
Clemrel, Vemrin, you have been dismissed.
Yes, Master.
I underestimated you by sending Dolgus. It will not happen again.
Are you having trouble with Acolyte Vemrin, Supplicant?
If he insists on getting in my face like that, he's gonna have trouble with me.
He has been hardened into a lethal machine. Vemrin has paid his dues. He's fought a deck stacked against him to get here. You, on the other hand... Let me get a closer look at you. Yes, as I suspected. Overseer Tremel has done you and this academy a great disservice. Your warblade came early. Prisoners flown in for your convenience. Even a beast here on Korriban instead of off-world in the wild. The pacing of the trials is deliberate. Only full immersion over time produces results. Your mind is soft, unhoned, undisciplined.
I'll remember that, and someday you'll regret those words.
I wouldn't regret destroying you where you stand. The first month of trials should be dedicated to philosophy, conceptual tactics, understanding of the Sith Code. Recite the Sith Code for me, Acolyte, and explain its meaning in battle, war.
Sure, let me just look at my thing here.
I don't recall learning a Sith Code, my lord.
Your ability is undeniable, but your readiness and your understanding of the Sith way is woefully lacking. I am your master now. Tremel was becoming lax before you ever arrived. His unwillingness to adapt to the evolving Sith paradigm has become a liability. These are the actions of a traitor. Traitors are executed. I grant you immunity from punishment. Kill Tremel and bring back his hand as proof.
It will be my extreme pleasure.
Now, leave. I'm sure Tremel is still in his chambers. Don't return until you've killed him.
Did you catch that? All of that? I'm actually going to spoil something for you here. So, the Sith Warrior is, in my opinion, the only class that is actually two classes. What I mean by that is every class has some variance and gradients in how exactly it sounds and how the actors and actresses voice it. But for the most part, they don't have a completely different personality based on how you play them. The Sith Warrior is different. The light side Sith Warrior is respectful and professional and to the point. The dark side Warrior is excessive and blunt and violent and a thug. The two are handled very differently. Nowhere is this more obvious than with Barriss. Do yourself a favor sometime. Do an actual cutscene with Barriss at some point. Choose all of one of the style of dialogues, then back out and do the other. The way he talks to you is completely different depending on how you talk to him. I prefer female overall, but male does evil better, so here we are. I'm gonna get rid of this stupid helmet.
I didn't expect to see you again so soon. Has Barriss sent you back to me?
Today's my lucky day. Barriss granted my wish. I get to kill you now.
Then I have been outplayed. Barriss has the authority, but I did not think he would do something this overt. Either I die, or he forces me to kill you and to destroy my own plan. A master stroke. Very well, you have your orders, Acolyte. Know that it gives me no pleasure to kill you.
And that is Barris in one cutscene, or technically two. I love that the first thing they did this with Zash too. They established what kind of person Barris is immediately. He is absolutely Sith. He has no problem acting or behaving that way. But he then starts talking about things like progressiveness and moderation and being willing to be forward-thinking and move beyond and all sorts of other stuff that lends himself towards being someone who is clearly not just a thug. Then he gives you a seemingly simple order, which, be honest, how many of you didn't even think about it at first? And I'll raise my hand on this, because I didn't either. Barris I didn't even think about this. He just says, yeah, go kill your master. Go kill Tremel. I'm your master now. And this is actually why Tremel lays it out for us. Because this is Barris's type of machinations in a nutshell. Tremel is a problem. He says it straight to our face. Tremel's been a problem since before we showed up. So Tremel has to be dealt with one way or the other. But if I send you to go do it, and you succeed, well then Tremel's dealt with. No problems. If Tremel kills him, then Tremel's big plan is over, and he's fallen too far behind. And Tremel's dealt with. Barris wins. The end.
What makes you so sure you're going to kill me?
You're strong, Acolyte, as strong as any I've seen come through the Academy. But you're not Sith yet. I'll try to make your end quick and painless. It's the least I can do.
I appreciate it. Die in a fire.
No. I'm amazed. I knew you were strong in the Force, but not like this. You're more than ready to challenge Vemrin. Barris won't be able to deny that now. He'll have the satisfaction of my death. But I die knowing my success. Go ahead. End this.
You are my greatest kill to date. I will rejoice in your blood.
Farewell, Acolyte. The purity of the Sith lies with you.
Actually, Barris never... Damn it, Evo! Well, I already said it, so no, Barris never finds out. But I didn't tell you the second part. Okay, Vigilant, you don't have an excuse. Here's a better question. If Tremel lives, does Barris care? Tremel is no longer a problem. My lord.
What's this? The Acolyte returns, and with a bloodied weapon. I assume this means Tremel is no more. Give me his hand.
Here you go.
Here, take this one ring as a memento. Remembering the past can strengthen resolve and embolden the spirit. I am impressed you had the fortitude to destroy him. You know he thought of you as family. How did it feel to betray him?
It was a day I will long remember. I savored it completely.
Good. Feast on that. Not every kill will be as meaningful. You have taken your first step to understanding the Sith Code. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, we gain strength. Through strength, we gain power. Through power, we gain victory. And through victory, our chains are broken. The Force shall set us free. By embracing the code and destroying Tremel, you have freed yourself from his shackles and escaped his fate.
You've made your point. I understand.
That's more like it. I had a feeling you'd be a fast learner. Now, there are sacred ruins in the tomb of Tulak Hord. The ancient inscriptions that once adorned the walls of each ruin lie in pieces. You will venture through the entire tomb, search all of the ruins, and bring me a shard from each of these inscriptions. You will do this, or you will die. Vemren and my other acolytes have already been sent. There are no rules regarding how they secure the shards, and they will stop at nothing. Fight your way through the tomb of Tulak Hord in the Valley of the Dark Lords, and bring me the shards from each of the ruined shrines.
Yes, sir. You set up my bar at some point. Of course, Eva. And I can't wait to shoot it down. Hang on, let me actually set up my bars really quick here. Okay. That goes there. What am I? Vengeance. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go and grab that while we're at it. Oh, and speaking of which, I need to buy... something. Oh, here it is. Pay attention, Mark. Let's buy all the speeder stuff so we can go as fast as possible. Buy this so we can sneak out of ships. I am evil. Thank you for being part of the show, DJT. I will jot that down for Sly 1. Give me a minute. Alright, let's see here. So that's... there. That's execute. That's our next AoE. That actually goes there. This should be G, I believe. This goes here. I don't know why I put that there. That goes in 6. That goes there. That should actually go there. Force choke is mandatory, obviously. It's a taunt. It's a taunt. Doesn't matter. That's a boneless person. That we put up there. That's our other defense. That's our other defense. Yep, that's how I remember Darth Nihilus. I have played Tremel. Yeah, I've played every class has been tested at this point. So I'm just picking the thing that we're going to kind of be doing. Now, one moment. This shouldn't take me long. I just have to remember names. Oh, they can replace names for me. That's cool. One moment. It isn't in my bar. So put that there. Nope. This game. Okay, here we go. Sorry, don't mind me, just thinking. Then, yeah, we can do that. Okay, we're good. Thankfully, I've played Juggernaut quite a bit, and I know I'm not literally Juggernaut, but you get my point. So I had a pretty good idea what I was going for without having to read everything for
Displaying all authorized destinations.
Okay.
Travel route is confirmed.
Listen, I don't see any problem here, Magister. Yeah, that is true for all of them. I would agree with that, Evo. I do like railroad building, Micromano. It's probably more evil, and I need to go there. God dang it. Hi, I'm, lore and forgetting where I'm at in the story. Oh, whatever, we'll just do this. Oh yeah, and I should probably update the HUD with where we're at right now. 2 people, 7. Okay, good. All right, let's go. Bye. Oh yeah, I need to do that too. God damn it! I hate this map so much. I really do. Go away. Well, you see what happens later on, Evo. Well, I like Darth Nihilus the best, because even though he has the least presence and the least, screen time, he's also by far the most interesting of the three. I tend to like environmental villains when done well anyways. See, Lavos for a good example of that, so that's related. Number 2 would obviously be Kreia. I mean, duh, right? I don't think I need to explain that one. And dead last would be Scion, because he's stupid. Except for his voice actor. Seriously, the guy who voices Scion is just too good. Okay, that explains why I was turned around. I thought I was in that tomb, not this one. I don't know if Scion's voice actor's in this game. Does anybody know? I think there is a Darth Agravus. I'm pretty sure there's a Darth Aggressor or something like that. I mean, you figure after a while you're going to run out of Darth names. There's only so many. Darth Stupid? I'm not going to make a joke there. Darth Cordons. I like it. Okay. This. And back here. Darth ABC. Swoot! I mean, if we're being honest, it would probably be Darth in Gaia. Darth Kratos. Wait. Oh, nobody pays attention to Darth Bob. He's just a weirdo.
You did it, didn't you? You got the shards from the tomb, and you're on your way back to Lord Barris.
I didn't even break a sweat.
That's all I needed to hear.
Get really used to hearing that one, by the way.
Stop! I'm sorry.
God, I love that
made a
attack,
mistake.
by the way.
I tried to get through the tomb, but there were just too many Chirac. I barely escaped. I figured better to ambush you and take your shards. But I see that's just as futile. Vemrin is already inside with Barris. All the other acolytes died. You were my only chance. Now, I'm doomed. I'll never become Sith. Unless I return with the shards, Barris will have me killed.
If you're wondering, if we give him his shards, we do have to get new shards and then come back again.
I'll save Barris the trouble of listening to your whimpering. Die!
That's what we're using, Blade Jamal, unless I'm not mistaken. This isn't Smash, this is Vengeful Slam.
The prodigal supplicant returns, and with all the shards from the tomb of Tulak Hord. Superb. It seems your hopes have been dashed, Vemrin.
Appearances can be deceptive.
Excuse Vemrin, supplicant. He didn't take kindly to you turning those young acolytes on him, even though they were only untrained novices.
He should thank me, novices or not. I bet he had his hands full.
The tension is thick between you two, a great source of emotion to feed on. I wonder what will happen when it boils over. You both stand on the precipice of becoming Sith, but only one of you will have the opportunity to claim a special lightsaber and serve as my apprentice. I thought it would be you, Vemrin, but I've changed my mind.
What? I've done everything you've asked. Better than any of the others. The honor should be mine.
Ignore Vemrin, Lord Barris. His world is crumbling around him.
Today, Vemrin is every bit your equal. But the Force is stronger with you, Acolyte. And there is a power sleeping within you. It was a simple decision. Now, Vemrin, go wait in my antechamber for your instructions. This instant. Now I hope you fathom how fortunate you are to be singled out. If you become my apprentice, the galaxy will bend before you.
I can't wait to start killing.
The lightsaber you will seek is old and powerful. It is housed in a forbidden cavern in the tomb of Nagasadao, where few Sith have ever set foot. Almost no one knows how to find the secret entrance. But there is a Twi'lek in the holding pens who was caught breaking in there. I hear she is quite willful. Take her and make her show you the entrance to the Forbidden Cave.
That sounds like fun. I will enjoy bending her to my will.
Yes, dominate her as you see fit. Other acolytes seeking to complete their trials are sent to the tomb, where Academy laws are waived. They will try to murder you. This test will determine if you become Sith. So bolster yourself. To set foot in the tomb of Nagasadao is to breathe in death itself.
Well, time to go torture Vette into submission. Evo left right before we start torturing Vette. Ah, well. Oh, you're probably, if you're paying attention there, did you notice that? Barriss recognizes that we will someday be a very powerful Sith. So, what does he do? The same thing he always does. He gets us under his control. The place where he can watch us the best and the longest term and have the most overall stability over us is with us as his apprentice. He wants to use us in order to establish his own role, and I'm just going to spoil something for you. He's going to spend the entirety of Act 1 and a little bit of Act 2 also working to get pieces into place in order to replace us, should that be necessary.
Ouch! Give it a rest, will ya?
I'm getting my fill of fun while I still can, slave. As if on cue, look who's back. Word is you might become Lord Barriss's apprentice. Nice work if you can get it. So, I hear you'll be relieving me of this Twi'lek. She's a pain in the neck.
Ha! Who's a pain in the neck? I'm the one wearing a shock collar.
Consider that a going-away present, Twi'lek. Seems you might be useful for something after all. This bruiser is taking you into the tomb where we caught you.
None of you can figure out how to activate the tomb statues to open the forbidden cavern, huh? You got some kind of business in that secret Sith chamber, do you?
I'm going to give away something. At almost every single time that she has a dialogue option on Korriban and on Dromund Kaas, just those two planets, you can just shock her. Every single freaking time. She'll be like, hey, da-da-da-da-da, and you'll get 3 dialogue options, and one of them will be shock her. That dialogue option obviously goes away the moment you get rid of her shock collar.
Yes, and I'd appreciate your help.
Don't bother being pleasant. Here, kid, take the shock control collar. I'll set it to a high level. Use it enough, she'll show you the back door to her mother's house.
I suppose I can play tomb tour guide. A lot of work went into cracking that nut, but I did it once. I can do it again. So we're clear. I'm officially on strike when it comes to domestic duties.
So, like I said, bzz.
You'll do everything I require, and I mean everything.
Don't get any twisted ideas in that Sithy head of yours. Lead the way. I'll show you the unlocking points throughout the tomb, and then open the secret door for you.
I'm not chickening out of anything. I said from the very beginning I was never going to shock that.
All better.
I'm also going to get the shock collar off her the first chance, which will be the first dialogue we have with her.
All better.
That's Audit. So I do have the ability to check that. It's going to take me a minute. So let's hit the stream breaks here. See, the problem here, one of the reasons that I tend to ask people to give those little announcement feeds that go into chat is because that I have exactly one other way in order to check any kind of subs. So here's how this works. I have to actually pull up the management console for my Twitch channel, and I have to actually pull a spreadsheet text dump of my current existing subs and manually check for there to see what kind of information I have on any given current subs. It is a pain and takes some time, which is why I don't like doing it, just to verify whether someone has subbed or not. That's why I pretty much mandate that people have to put those things into chat. Wow, there's actually a toggle to disable ad-free viewing for subs in my chat. Why? I mean, I know why. Just... I can also schedule ads to run on my channel. That's new. I can also force pre-roll ads, which I have disabled. You're going to have to give me a minute. They've actually moved where it is, because of course they have. I think I know where they moved it. I've read about this. Yeah, here we go. Yep, I think this is it. Wow, that was 5 clicks to get to the point in which I could download the spreadsheet file. Which, of course, comes in a stupid format, which I then have to interpret. Thankfully, I've done this several times, so I have that pre-baked in as a template. Alright, hang on. Let's see if we can find Eitri in this list. Let's see. No, don't. Now, the first thing you do, Loke, is you ask Darth Tyrant or Hord, because I have no ability over that. It's a CSV. It's a really badly formatted CSV. Okay, here we go. Now, this is interesting. So, here's the funny part, Eitri. I do not have the ability to see how long you're subbed for, like if you pay for a 6-month sub. That's not there. That information does not exist. Instead, it only tells me your current tier, how long you've been subbed, your current streak, and whether or not you're a founder, as well as your most recent subscriber date, which was, like 12 minutes ago. So, I can confirm you are a Tier 2 sub right now. But that's actually all the information I have, Eitri. Either way. Twitch. You're better than YouTube. And yes, that is an insult. Thank you, Eitri. I do appreciate the sub. Thank you. Do you want to put that towards something in particular? I'll jot down the whole thing right now. So that's a Tier 2 for 6 months. I can do basic math in my head. There are definitely founders among you. Actually, I don't think there's any founders on right now. I could be wrong. Unless Bragman's here. Plaguetail 2, you got it. I like how the quest objective, by the way, is make Vette activate the switches.
You're good to go.
God, I love that attack, by the way. It's probably the single best looking attack in the entire game. Hey, there is Bragman. She's not just a founder. She's also a client. Wait, that doesn't work, does it? Seriously, look at that attack. You may or may not have been paying attention and noticed that I haven't actually been giving viscerality positive to this game. Not really. We can debate some of that, but to be completely blunt, with the exception of lightning, most of this game doesn't look good. In my opinion, it doesn't have good viscerality. In fact, it's one of the things I disliked about playing the blaster classes. Now, there's a couple of specific times where we can argue that. Pyro, for example, for Bounty Hunter. And, like I said, Lightning Mage. But the other one, the one class that's guaranteed to get viscerality positives, is this one. The Juggernaut. Any questions? Oh, absolutely, Zactav.
Hey, this is it. The secret entrance to the hidden cavern is in here. Just let me get my bearings.
Oh no, it's Vemrin. Oh no, he's an idiot.
Take your time, slave. Just have the entrance uncovered by the time I finish killing your new master.
You'll do nothing of the sort. Fitting that you meet your end in a tomb, Vemrin.
No loose
My
ends.
passions run deeper than yours. I am the true essence of what it is to be Sith. My legacy has suffered long enough. After today, you will be forgotten. It ends here and now.
Yeah, sorry, no, I actually have my bar set up now, so you're dead. That's ignoring the fact that I've got Orcano over there. And Vigilant.
Becoming Barris's apprentice was my destiny. Did I come this far and overcome such adversity, only to be proven unworthy?
I have waited a long time to put you in your place. Consider this. Killing you was easy.
Then do it. Finish me.
Wow. Nice work.
Shock.
Glad to impress you.
The secret entrance is right here.
Now, who asked about MSQ? Now that I'm not busy with a few things. So, some time ago, I think during the GTA 5 run, this is a bit ago, we decided that the easiest and simplest way to divide the categories of content when it comes to video games is between three broad categories. There's actually a fourth category. The fourth category just doesn't matter for the review. So the three categories...
You're welcome.
Shock.
You have been most helpful.
It's nice to be acknowledged. Thanks.
Oh, you can gain a ton of dark side points by shocking her every time she talks. You notice how often it's come up. That's 3 shocks so far. We haven't even left Korriban. Anyways. So 3 broad categories. There's content that is intended to be mandatory, which it is core meat content to the game. There's content which is not mandatory, but is still core meat. It's still, really high quality or high density or high relevance, either in terms of story or in terms of gameplay. And then there's just secondary stuff, go get X of Y kind of stuff. MSQ is the quickest and easiest shorthand for the first category. I actually have my own terminology for it. It's primary mandatory, primary optional, and secondary. But it's a lot easier to type MSQ than primary mandatory. MSQ stands for Main Story Quest. It is a term from Final Fantasy XIV, which is borrowed from a term from Lord of the Rings Online, where they called it book quests over there. The concept is exactly what it sounds like. That's the primary mandatory. You have to do this to progress. Again with the camera angles. Bounty Hunter. Yeah, so hence MSQ for primary mandatory, prime opt for primary optional, and secondary for secondary. Where's Inquisitor? There it is. And yeah, tasks is the fourth category, the stuff that almost doesn't even matter for reviews. I say almost because, generally speaking, tasks are neither a plus nor a negative. They're just there. They're literally boring extra spam. Most games don't even have tasks. In this game, heroics are tasks, to use a direct example. Okay, that's neat, E-Tree. What's that over there? Oh, hey, it's the Emperor! Can I help you? Nope. Correct. Secondary quests are... Oh, I left one alive. I'm actually surprised by that. Who lived through that? Secondary quests usually have at least a little meat on the bone, so to speak. Dailies in WoW would almost universally be secondaries. Hey, there's Rogue. Who was it who wanted an invite? Because it looks like Tyron's on.
You're good to go.
Smuggler and companion versus bounty hunter companion? I mean, we all know bounty hunter's better, so... Oh, are we done? We are, yeah. Sorry, the objective was, like, make your way out, so I thought it might have been one of those one-out things, but I think that was just to make sure we got into the ambush we just did. God, I love Sith Warrior. Sorry, it's just... This is the... You ever have really, really good ribs? You know, seasoned just perfectly, where the meat is falling off the bone as you dig into it. And it's just... Oh god, it's so savorous. You just let it sit there and savor it for a moment. That's Sith Warrior. After all the slog and all the crap and all the blech and some good stuff. That's what Sith Warrior is.
My father was a staunch traditionalist, and he was especially hard on me. But he's my blood. Did you think you could kill him and get away with it?
Who told you I killed your father?
Everybody says so. The whole place knows you killed him, and now you have to die.
Well, I suppose the whole place can't be wrong.
You'll rue the day you took his life. Attack!
Okay. Moving on.
Better mess with us now.
I am beside myself. Not only did you get the Twi'lek to cooperate, but you completed the task and claimed the ancient lightsaber. Vemren was not in my chamber as I instructed. I take it he sought to stop you and claim the ancient weapon as his own.
He tried and failed. Vemren was nothing if not consistent.
Bravo! I see you may indeed become one of the strongest Sith in the galaxy. Your trials are over. You are now my apprentice.
I am your humble servant, Master. I bow before you.
Rise, my apprentice. This is only the beginning.
Hang on. I want to show you something real quick.
I am...
It took you long enough.
Mind your tone, my young initiate. This is only the beginning.
Okay, it's not a good example of it.
You as my right hand, we shall strike fear into the Empire's enemies. I must convene with the Emperor and inform him of your progress. This shuttle pass will take you to Dromund Kaas. Meet me at the Citadel there.
So did you catch that? I will convene with the Emperor. Vitiate has been silent for decades. Everyone knows that.
Tell the Emperor I said hello.
I'm sure he'll be thrilled. Take the Twi'lek slave as my gift. Do with her as you wish. If she'll be of use, by all means take her with you to Dromund Kaas.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I've often theorized that he was literally testing us there by mentioning the Emperor. But of course, we don't know about that, so we don't even pick up on it. And that was Korriban. Also the last time we'll be seeing Korriban. Well, okay, that's not true. The last time we're doing the Korriban quests might be a better way to phrase that. Barriss is pretty much always pushing the character. Kind of similar to Thanaton, now that I think about it. But the difference is Thanaton kind of does so unintentionally, whereas Barriss is very deliberately screwing with us. No, I just got to level 70 on Korriban naturally, Darth Tyrant. It was a lot of work. It took me all night. I was just running around, killing core slugs over and over and over. Whew. Yeah, could you imagine? I don't even know if that's possible in Tor. It's possible in some other MMOs. There's this one dude who got his start on YouTube by doing ridiculous challenges like that. Like getting to max level on the starter Isle of Pandaria, which requires gathering, because at a certain level, enemies no longer give experience. And gathering never gives less than 1 experience. I'll let you think about that for a second. God, what a waste of time.
All better.
Yeah, it's... The idea of doing that is so many levels of insane, I can't even put it into words. Imagine gathering herbs literally millions of times. Just over and over and over. Here on Grathan. Enjoy the nap. Yeah, what's funny is that doesn't actually work that way, J. Palmer. Like I said, enemies stop giving you experience at a certain point in a while. It's actually worse in Guild Wars 1. In Guild Wars 1, enemies stop giving you experience and there's no gathering. So, how do you level to 20 in the starter zone? So what you have to do is you have to feed the enemies. Enemies level as they kill you. Now, normally this doesn't matter. In fact, it's only a holdover from old code. But if you go ahead and deliberately die to the enemies over and over and over again, they will level enough that you can then kill them and gain experience on them. So you have to quite literally farm leveling them and then leveling yourself. I have done Sith Warrior so many times. I've done it more than any other class in this game. Yeah, for good reason.
You're the one, yes. Not like the scabs that exited the shuttle with you. You radiate power, Lord. I bow before you. I serve Lord Barris. He sent me to meet his new apprentice, and I made sure I was here on time. I certainly did, yes indeed.
I hope you don't expect a reward.
Serving and being allowed to live is reward enough. I'm just a slave who owes his every breath to the tolerance of Lord Barris. He said to introduce you to Dromund Kaas, and I take that seriously.
Your breathing is now dependent on my tolerance as well.
Yes, my lord. I exist by your good grace. Lord Barris ordered me to encourage you to explore Kaas City before reporting to him. Imperials maintain the order, but they won't bother you. When you're ready, Lord Barris will meet you in his personal chambers. You will tell Lord Barris I was good? Yes? That I served well?
He knows a lie when he hears one.
A lie? But I thought I performed the task with complete commitment. Is that not so, Lord?
You dare question me?
What did I do? No!
Wow. Didn't take you long to start the Dromund Kaas death toll.
It was a long shuttle ride.
You were going through withdrawal. I get it.
So, yeah. That is Sith Warrior in one cutscene. This is why I don't mind playing Sith Warrior Darkside. It is actually the only class that I like playing mostly full Darkside. Because it's a comedy. You don't really do a lot of actually messed up stuff as the Sith Warrior. You're more HK-47 type of evil. You know what I mean? Unlike Agent, to use a counterexample. Agent has some dark side options that are really dark. Like, holy crap.
Enjoy your stay.
Yeah, Agent can be a complete monster. And can do some horrifically evil things. By contrast, the Sith Warrior is cartoonish. There's a reason I keep using that phrase. It's part of why we're doing this particular playthrough. Hey, Nemesis. I can't imagine why you'd say that, Don Crow. Yeah, our agent will probably be mostly light-sided. Occasionally, with some dark side. I mean, that's how I play a lot of my characters. Leaning light, but not dedicated to light. It was fun playing a very evil consular, though.
Ready for departure.
Isn't that just every agent played Tremel? That's interesting. What is that one, Darth Orcano? Darth Orcano. Gotta say that right. Oh yeah, someone asked earlier if we become a Darth. Yes, even though we shouldn't. Arguably, we shouldn't get the Darth title as a warrior. They just gave it to us because... Shrug. Oh, trust me. I know which one we're doing this particular playthrough, Lothario.
You're good to go.
Fair play, Tremel.
Not a minute too soon. Your timing is impeccable.
Did it just get considerably colder?
I see you decided to keep the slave. I hope she amuses you. I understand you killed my welcoming committee.
Simply because it amused me.
Killing him has not angered me. With such a disagreeable weapon at my side, many will think twice before crossing me. Your responsibilities will mandate contact with my various minions, meet my directives, and you may do as you will to anyone you encounter, adversary or ally.
So, this is also Darth Barris, and actually an insight into one of his biggest character flaws, which we'll discuss more later. All I need to know right now is that he has a tendency to have absolutely no problem throwing away a tool as long as he gets what he wants. He's very much about the accounting game, net gain kind of a thing. So,
sounds liberating. The ability to kill anyone I want.
A lightsaber can only achieve so much, apprentice. The most powerful weapon in a Sith Master's arsenal is information. I have painstakingly built a vast network of spies and operatives embedded throughout the Sith, Republic, and Jedi alike. I have fingers, eyes, and ears everywhere.
Which am I to be? A finger, eye, or ear?
You're my enforcer, deployed to protect my interests, intimidate my rivals, and destroy my enemies.
Yeah, where is Vader?
It's time for your tenure to begin. A military starship is touching down at the Kaas City cargo port, delivering a vitally important prisoner to me. You will meet Commander Lanklin at Docking Bay 12 and make sure he and his men successfully offload this prisoner.
This is beneath my talents. Commander Lanklin can't handle it himself.
Lanklin is competent, but that is moot. We must always assume that we are being plotted against, especially when the stakes are high. The importance of this prisoner cannot be overstated. Go to the cargo port now and stay sharp. You are dismissed.
Another reason I like playing a light side Sith warrior is it's more clear that if you play it that way, that you are substantially smarter than you make yourself out to be. And I tend to enjoy playing characters that deliberately obfuscate stupidity so that others, underestimate you. And yeah, by the way, we'll just go ahead and say this now. Barris's main flaw, which we'll talk about more later, paranoia. No, really. Barris is not cautious. Barris is paranoid. You could argue that that's what has allowed him to endure for so long, but it is absolutely the cause of pretty much everything that goes wrong for him. Repeatedly.
All right, man, let's hurry up and get this hunk of carbonite to its owner.
Hey, Captain Olivius. Boo.
Oh, I didn't see you enter. Lord Barris didn't need to send a welcoming party.
You're lucky I'm not an enemy, or you'd all be dead.
Forgive me, my lord, but this is the capital world of the Empire. My men and I have performed much more dangerous duties for Lord Barris. The prisoner is frozen in carbonite, so he's not a flight risk. And this is friendly territory. Surely we're safe here.
There is no such thing as friendly territory.
No offense, my lord. That brand of paranoia may work for Lord Barris, but I don't subscribe to it.
Which one of your men takes over after I kill you?
Please, my lord. There's no need for talk like that. I heed your point. Let's get this oversized block of ice to your master.
Not so fast. My master ordered that block of ice, so step away from the carbonite man and no one ends up in a grave.
This is a private party.
Then consider it crashed. I'm here to relieve you of your burden. Whether that includes your own lives as well is up to you.
Looky. If it ain't Slestak, your master be wanting the froze man too, huh? Too bad for you. It mine.
Gadge?
I think introductions are in order.
Fine. I am Slestak, and this ignoramus is Tumar. My master and the slime Tumar takes orders from don't exactly like each other.
My slime crush your master with Pinky.
I'm such a fool. I'll never doubt Lord Barris again. What do we do?
We kill them all.
I know you're Sith, stranger, but I think your bravado is ill-advised.
He got ideas, Slestak. How about we play wishbone with the talker? Bigger half get the spoils.
A truce, then. You stood a chance against one set of us Sith, but even a master Force user can't beat these odds.
Time to roll the dice, then. Attack!
Time for killing, boys!
You're good to go.
I see more ambushes on the way.
Oh my god.
Them off while my men and I make a run
That
for it,
was
and deliver the
actually
prisoner to Lord Barris.
delightful. The odds were against you. Wham! Okay.
Leave the fighting for real fighters.
Come on, man! Double time!
I remember that fight in vanilla. I used to pretty much never do that fight solo. Oh, wow. So, anyways. So I started sithing. Morbin. I like sithing. It's sithing time.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Langlin informed me of the ambush at the cargo port. Apparently there are more eyes on us than even I thought. I have felt a disturbance in the Force. It leaves doom imprinted on my dreams. A grave and mysterious threat that could bring down my entire power base. This frozen man is a top Republic agent captured while investigating my most deeply embedded spy on Nar Shaddaa. One of my invisibles. The Force grants me a vision of doom. And immediately, my untraceable spy, who has left no footprints, no trail, is almost exposed. It makes me furious.
Instead of whining, do something about it.
Oh, I'll do something about it. One of the things that I do best. Torture. I must learn what tipped off the Republic agent. He is the key to uncovering the nature of this threat. Now, while I thaw the prisoner and painfully siphon every morsel of information I can from him, I have some concerns that require your special talents.
I'd like to stay and watch the torture, my lord.
Yuck. Please, no.
You can watch me torture the next prisoner. Go to the Imperial post in the jungles outside the city. Commander Pritch is stationed there. He has a seek and destroy task for you.
I don't take orders from lackeys.
Pritch is merely relaying information, apprentice. I must tend to the torturing of this miserable Republic agent. Waste no time. I have more for you to do once this is complete. You are dismissed.
Sorry, getting some set up. Apologies. Okay. Sure. Oh. Oh, okay. You know one thing I like about WoW more than any other MMO out there? Real question. It's actually something that's I've always known, but has really been codified for me lately. As I've been bouncing back and forth between, you know, STO, F14, Tor, and WoW.
Commander Pritch at your service, my lord. Lord Barris informed me you'd be paying us a visit. I'm prepared to offer full assistance.
What brings me to this forsaken forest?
Permit me to update you on the situation here. There's been much unrest in these parts recently, my lord, capped off by a violent slave revolt that has the surrounding jungles overrun with armed slaves.
Then they're not slaves anymore, are they?
I stand corrected, my lord. Former slaves. What no one knows is that Lord Barris orchestrated the insurgents to disrupt one of his rivals, and he wants his involvement kept secret. Now the slave captains who led the revolt are threatening to expose Barris's involvement unless they receive more potent weapons.
They must be killed.
That is in sync with my instructions. Lord Barris wants you to kill enough of the blackmailing slave captains to make the others lose their resolve.
Just tell me where to go.
Slaves are scattered throughout the area, but the captains tend to congregate near the unfinished Colossus. I'll wait here for your return.
Takes guts to sit here and wait, don't you think?
We have given in to the blue side of the Force.
Take it up with the commander. I'm sure he'd appreciate the constructive criticism.
Nah, I think I'll let him live in shame.
Oh my god, what was that insanity? I think, apparently! Jesus. Yes, I should give in to the blue side of the Force. You just sit there listening to Alanis Morissette songs all the time, you know. What am I doing? Captains. I need to kill captains. No, I'll tell you what I like about WoW over every other MMO out there. Situational awareness. A combination of probably at least a dozen different factors makes it much easier for me to be actually aware of where I am and what I'm doing at any given point in time in WoW, as opposed to in the game I'm playing right now. I love how I literally just demonstrated that by attacking a target I didn't realize I had targeted. Thank you, game, for helping me make my point. Yes, Vette is full light side, as we all know. I'm blue, da-dum, deep, da-dum, da. And then copyright. Let's just wait a second while the excessive leash radius goes away. Yeah, no. There we go.
Ah, my lord, you've returned. I take it many slave captains have died this day.
Tor is not mod friendly, just like 14, just like Guild Wars 2, just like most MMOs actually. WoW's the exception there.
Their next of kin won't be able to identify them.
I shudder to imagine their fate. I must stay, my lord. It's been inspiring watching you work.
Prostrate yourself elsewhere, Imperial.
I'm sorry if I've angered you. I'll inform Lord Barris that the situation has been handled.
Oh, someone just killed the question bot. What, you mean like to fix it, Dr. Winter? The problem is, the finale of Bounty Hunter is actually not bad. What the problem is there's absolutely no build-up. It is payoff with no build-up, and it just doesn't work. That's an interesting outfit. Yeah, I can't wait to get to Mass Effect. Oh. No, Tormund got a negative.
I don't care what you do. Break my bones, burn my flesh. I'll tell you nothing.
I will not be denied.
Go spit, you monster!
I didn't know bodies could bend like that. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Spare yourself. You shouldn't have to see this.
Ah, apprentice, you've returned. Commander Pritch confirmed that the slaves have been silenced. Good. I'm still trying to extract the information I crave from this Republic agent. He is much more resilient than anticipated.
I thought you said you were good at this.
Now is not a good time to test me, apprentice. Even as I brutalize him, I twist the Force to keep him alive and feeling every sensation.
That is the cruelest thing I've ever heard.
I have another important task for you. It involves a renegade Sith Lord named Grathan, a particularly bothersome thorn in my side. Meet with my apprentice, Drykel Ball. He's my covert operative in Grathan's compound. Ball claims to have made a key discovery.
Invading a Sith compound is my kind of work.
Grathan's presence is useful to me, so I don't want him killed, just crippled. Find out what Ball has discovered, and do exactly as he instructs.
Too bad. I would love to kill a Sith Lord.
No doubt someday you will have your chance to try, one way or another. Now then, Republic wretch, where were we? Oh, yes. Tell me what I wish to know.
Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near this guy at the moment for reasons, so we're just gonna not be anywhere near this guy for no particular reason. Just gonna kind of be over there. Wait. Nope, I'm right. I think. Yeah, Barris is such a... He's a marshmallow, you know? Oh, that guy has absolutely lost control of his bowels. You heard what Barris is doing to him, right? He's actually using the Force to keep him alive. He is basically forcing him, no pun intended, to survive whatever he's doing to him. Which tracks. That's kind of how Darth Vader was trying to heal himself and trying to free himself from the suit, you know? With one exception. Barris is probably the most evil Sith, with one notable exception, yes. That being said, I do think that other person is more evil, my opinion. Not that Barris is exactly all sunshine and rainbows, but, you know. Good night, Ikid.
You must be the operative Lord Barris sent. I thought he'd choose a stealthy assassin, not some senseless savage.
Barris knows what he's doing.
I suppose he wants a spectacle, or he wouldn't have entrusted such a blunt and tactless animal.
Do you want to die?
We've got business to handle. With the entire complex roused, we'll have to get in each other's faces another time.
You started it, buddy.
Listen. Lord Grathan is a rogue Sith who boldly defies the Dark Council. Locked away here, he's been untouchable. Lord Barris wants to let Grathan know he can be reached. And after a year undercover, I've discovered the way. Lord Grathan has a son.
We have seen the Emperor. We even killed him, Dream Whisperer. At least that was the plan at the time. So, do you think I should do the meme thing with Grathan? For those of you who know what that means.
Maybe in another year you can find out his shoe size.
He wears boots, not shoes, smart mouth. I was assigned to find Grathan's weakness. He's kept his son a secret in order to protect him from his enemies. Grathan would be devastated if his only child and heir was dead. That would send a message.
Won't killing his son just make Grathan mad?
Lord Barris seeks to imbalance Grathan, make him sloppy. Grathan's kid is nearly 20 and strong with the Force. He's been trained in the ways of the Sith since birth. You'll have your hands full.
I'll fill my hands with his entrails.
My, how graphic. You're a true Vulgarian. Grathan's away on business. I managed to hack a special spike that will get you inside his private quarters. But first you're going to have to knock out Grathan's surveillance station so you aren't seen entering the quarters.
What do I care if I'm observed?
The surveillance system is also a sophisticated defense network. If you don't destroy the system before entering the private chambers, you'll never make it. All you have to do is locate the monitoring stations around the compound and, well, stick your lightsaber in them. Think you can handle that, brute?
Keep calling me names, Barl. You're playing with fire.
Is it so easy to get under your skin? That's all then. Destroy the monitoring stations, then get inside Grathan's private quarters. The son's name is Beelslit. Find him and end him.
That's his name?
I'll meet you back here when you're done.
Beelslit?
Screw up.
I kinda like his attitude.
Who are you? I am the great Lord Beelslit. No, seriously, what's your name?
I told you, my name is Beelslit. I'm a great Dark Lord, just like my pappy.
Yeah, honestly, even as a light side warrior, I tend to kill this guy. Because he's an idiot. Huh. I mean, there's no Morlocks.
You are bound to me, demon. I am a great Dark Lord of the Sith. Fear is my ally.
I haven't choked anybody lately.
Trifling gnome. I mean Jedi.
Here, someone give me like a Sith quote. Just some dark Sith Lord of Doom. I don't care which one.
Mother, a stranger approaches.
You don't know the half of it, kid.
I am Sylvanta Grathan. How dare you enter my son's room uninvited? Who are you?
Step aside, woman. I'm here for the boy.
You'll have to kill me first. And while my son is still an acolyte, I am fully Sith.
Not for very much longer, you're not.
Beelslit, take cover.
No, Mother! I stand at your side! Attack!
Nobody better mess with us now.
Stop! You are more than a match for us! Mother, if I am the target, save yourself! I don't want to see you die!
My son, you must not sacrifice yourself for anyone, not even me. You must endure at all costs. Assassin, you've carved your way into the inner sanctum of Lord Grathan's compound, all to kill a boy. You are a breath away from the Master himself. Spare us, and I'll help you destroy Lord Grathan instead.
You want me to kill your husband? Aren't you the dutiful wife?
I married Lord Grathan for power. It was a means to an end. Now I want out. I'm strong, but can't touch my husband. How long I've waited for someone to end his oppressive rule.
You have my attention.
A wicked plan is taking shape. Long ago, my husband was nearly beheaded. Now he cannot exist without his helmeted mask. Everyone knows this. Kill Lord Grathan. My son will wear the mask and assume his mantle. He'll publicly rant that his son was murdered. No one will be the wiser.
What's in it for me?
In addition to appearing successful in your task, I'll reward you in either credits or an item of power, your choice.
I prefer a powerful item.
Excellent. You won't regret it. Lord Grathan deserves to die. With this pass card, you may enter Lord Grathan's secret chamber. You'll find him there. After you've ended Lord Grathan's miserable existence, bring his masked helmet to me.
Finally, I get to kill a Sith Lord.
I can see you're an ambitious one. You're a climber, like me. Be wary of Lord Grathan. There are few as attuned to the dark side as he.
I don't think I like the sound of that.
That's fine. Let's go kill him. So don't look this up, Pancakes, but you know how, you know what, I'm not going to go into it. Let's just say that it's possible to attempt to behead someone and only get most of it.
My uninvited guest finally arrives. Your feelings betray you, youngster. I sensed your murderous intentions the moment you entered my sanctum. What's more, your unshielded mind has revealed your accomplice, my loving wife.
She sends her love?
Sylvanta is a user, child. She's obsessed with power. It's one of the things that attracted me to her, but it's outgrown its amusement. I am death itself, child. Come embrace the darkness.
Sure thing, Thanaton.
Boom!
There we go. Jeez, that was weird. So anyways. So the obvious pure evil option would be just to kill. But I decided to do something slightly funnier, because I never play a male Sith warrior.
I sensed my husband's death.
So...
Lord Grathan is no more. What pleasure to think he suffered.
He didn't enjoy it. He screamed like a stuck calf-hound.
Mother, what does this mean? Am I truly to become the master of this house?
You will wear his mask and assume his identity, but you are not yet ready to rule, my dear. The voice will be yours, but the words will be mine.
I have longed for my father's death, and the chance to claim his power.
Yes, this is a great day. You have served us well, my new friend.
Perhaps you could show your appreciation in a more personal manner.
Aren't you the rogue? You freed me from an inconvenient husband and put me in control of this house. Let me show you my appreciation. In private.
Whoa! Wait a minute. You're not seriously considering this. You have really terrible taste in women.
You can shock her.
Don't be such a child.
Age has nothing to do with good taste. But do what you have to.
Now that we've cleared that up, all this talk is making me impatient. Beelsled, find something to do, will you? Your mother needs some privacy.
His mommy needs to have sex. Go away.
And are you going to dismiss your Twi'lek?
You know, I've never seen it when she stays.
She never leaves my side.
You've got to be kidding me.
Well, well, well. Whatever you say. It's your party.
Oh my god, that's terrible. That's terrible.
All the things I've endured to gain power, this was one of the least unpleasant. You are always welcome in my chamber, friend.
Keep the door unlocked.
Where would the fun be in that? Now leave me. I have much to do now that I control House Grathan.
Oh, wow. Yeah, meanwhile, Vette's just there. Ah! Just non-stop. Oh, my God. Poor Vette. I'm so sorry, Vette. Yeah, Vette is just hosing us down with Kolto right now. Like, nah, I ain't touching any of that. Yeah, I rip off like you've seen Mission Impossible, right? With those fake masks they're in love with. I rip off the fake mask, and it's just Master. It's just my smuggler. Hey, 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 it was me all along. Risha comes in. Smack! Oh my god, Terra. See, that would actually be unpleasant. That's uncomfortable at that point. That's over the line from humorously ridiculous to, okay, what the hell is wrong with you? And that is, of course, the appeal of playing a dark side Sith warrior. It doesn't really go over the line. It just continues to be hilariously ridiculous. Of course I killed a Sith Lord, and then had sex with his wife while forcing my slave to watch. Why wouldn't I? Don't quote that out of context.
You're good to go.
Speaking of...
I'm surprised you survived. So is it done? Is Grathan's son dead?
You're a condescending windbag, Baal.
It's pretty easy to push your buttons, Brute. Doesn't say much for Grathan security forces if a clumsy clod like you was able to bang into his private chamber and off his son.
Why don't you back up that mouth with action?
That's exactly what I had in mind. Killing the murderer of Grathan's son will solidify my cover here. Barriss can replace you easily.
Barriss will be needing a new spy. I'm going to enjoy killing you.
Though I'm more than capable of facing you alone, a smart man uses every advantage.
Oh, you missed it, Evo.
I'm a smart man.
You missed it, Evo.
The intruder! The intruder is here! Everyone to me! Attack!
You're good to go.
Anyways. So, you remember Lord Grathan? And you know how the light side choice was to spare him? Well, as part of that, one of the things you could do is insist, if you're playing male, is insist that the wife sleep with you. In a, what I can only refer to as a hilariously comedic moment. You can also force Vette to watch. I've never heard anything about that Morganite, so that's all I got on that. I says that's not quite fair. We don't force her to watch. What we actually specifically say is that we don't dismiss her.
You're good to go.
It's real. It's really funny because she's just like to her son, "All right, go away. Mommy needs some private time." And the son's like, "Okay." And then she turns to us and says, "Aren't you going to dismiss your Twi'lek?" And our response to that is, "She never leaves my side." To which Vette's like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me?" So I like to picture that Vette is just staring in the corner Like going like this. The whole time. Oh my god. So I believe this is a dialogue I wanted to show off.
Nice lungs you got there.
Mind your tongue, or I will cut it out.
Okay, I'm officially scared.
Alright, hold up, hold up. So.
Is there some problem here?
Who would ask such a stupid question? Clearly, there's a problem here.
Okay.
And one more.
I feel your anger, Master.
Blind, deaf, comatose lobotomy patient could feel my anger.
Okay, I'm officially scared.
This is impossible. An unknown power must be shielding this man, which only confirms my suspicions. This Republic agent is the key to unlocking the threat we face. I must harness my rage and frustration. They will lead me to an answer.
Wake me when you figure it out.
Your insolence will one day be your undoing. I would punish you if I wasn't so pleased with your progress. And the word has spread that Lord Grathan is incensed at the slaying of his secret son. I take it that was your handiwork?
Oh,
I didn't even... After dealing with his son, I stayed to socialize with Lady Grathan. An added humiliation for him.
Ah, my young apprentice, you have just cheered me up. I haven't heard from Dreikel Ball, my agent in Grathan's camp. He's missed a scheduled communication. Let me guess. He gave you trouble, did he?
I bled him dry and danced on his corpse.
No matter. He fulfilled his primary purpose. Every Sith must attempt to orchestrate his own promotion. Now, back to my prisoner. There's one last possibility to break him. I thought it impossible, but perhaps there's a small chance you could pull it off. Over a millennium past, the Emperor claimed Dromund Kaas and made the Dark Temple the epicenter of Dark Force energy. In the bowels of the temple, he conducted horrifying experiments that drained the knowledge and life essence from all the greatest Sith Lords of the time.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
I'm sure that he would be relieved to hear that you approve. The Emperor created a device called the Ravager that ate his victims' minds and delivered to him their greatest secrets. No one could withstand the Ravager's intrusion. Even the strongest Sith Lords of the Empire confessed whatever the Emperor craved.
Let me guess, you want me to get the Ravager?
It may be my only chance to break this Republic worm. The Emperor keeps the Ravager hidden in the Dark Temple, which has, in his absence, become a death trap. There's a good chance the horrors that await you will be too severe. But it's worth your life to me. The legends describe a secret chamber in the depths of the Dark Temple where the Ravager was encased. You'll know the device by its inscription. Be swift, apprentice.
And yeah, unlike some individuals I could name, he tells us to our face, I don't expect you to live through this, and frankly, I don't care. This is worthwhile to me because, I need this. Oh. Why not, Evo? That was a weird non-loading screen. Alright, where are we going? What's really funny is that's probably one of the only times we'll go light side in this entire playthrough. Otherwise, it's pure dark all the way. Surprised we're not dark 2 yet. Let's try that again. Oh wow, we're nowhere near dark 2. We need to shock
Nobody better mess with
Vette
us
more.
now.
That's a good question. Not yet, Evo, but I will once we get our ship. I don't feel like hitting the cantina before then. Oh, I agree, Lord Harriman. Of course. I don't know, going into a place with, like, booze and evil? It's not worth it. She can wait till we have a ship.
You're good to go.
It does sound like time for a bloodbath, I'll agree with that. That's a much shorter range, look at that. Oh my goodness, I'm at 0 of 4 so far here. I'm pretty sure it'd be higher than I've already gotten it so far, and I've gotten it pretty high, Blade to Fall. Bloodbaths take forever. You can't. Look at this! Oh, no, hang on. 1 of 4. Oh, I've never been so excited. Dark Dickon. No, it needs to sound like some kind of old noir detective name. Oh, all of them, Doncro. Just all of them. Fix every single one of my broken organs. Completely replace my teeth, my eyes, my spine. And done. You'll have to give me a minute, Dr. Winter, but I can tell you the answer, though. Bounty Hunter is 35.40. Strong one. This is being so strange. Oh, that's why.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Listen, it'd be worth it. Shadow Machine. Django. What kind of cyborg would I prefer to look like?
Foolish of you to return here.
That, right there.
Oh, looks like we got another fight on our hands.
Those pieces you took from my minions belong to me. They will enable me to exact my revenge on Lord Farshal. I am Lord Vacuous, the conqueror of Begeller.
There you go, Darth Vacuous.
Of Garatak the Singed. Return what you have stolen, or burn.
I choose burn.
Die at the hands of Vacuous.
You insisted. Yeah, it's actually spelled wrong. That's the best part. It's a very common thing for the Darth things to change like one letter somewhere. Make it look like it's not, you know, just vacuous. Oh, we're totally going dark side Jaisa, which I've never actually seen before. Well, kind of. I've seen other players as dark side Jaisa. We are probably not going to romance Darkseid Jace. We might not romance anybody. Vette deserves better, and Jace is messed up. Juggernaut. Easy question, Shiny Toki. Juggernaut for life. We're also a Juggernaut right now, as it happens.
All better.
When I sent you into the Dark Temple for the Ravager, I thought it might be the last time I saw you, apprentice. The prisoner grows weaker by the minute. There's no time to spare. Stand back and bear witness.
You're wasting your time. I will not.
Yes, the Ravager has seized his mind. Excellent. In his condition, we don't have long before the ordeal liquefies all brain matter.
I hope the results are gory and gruesome.
I do not care what we see as long as I hear what I want. Republic Worm, you have the information I desire. Tell me everything.
I am Republic Information Service on special assignment to verify possible Imperial spy on Nar Shaddaa, commissioned by Jedi Council, acting on suspicions provided by Master Nomen Karr.
Nomen Karr. That's a name I grow tired of hearing.
Are you going to keep me in the dark, old man?
Nomen Karr is a Jedi Master who infiltrated the Sith. I rooted him out. Then he nearly destroyed me and fled. He's dedicated himself to proving that the Sith have spies embedded within Republic and Jedi ranks. I've thwarted him at every turn, but he is tenacious. How did Nomen Karr come to suspect my spy on Nar Shaddaa? Tell me, Republic wretch, what alerted him?
Master Nomen Karr has a new Padawan. She seems to know any being's true nature. She senses hidden darkness and untapped purity.
Astonishing. I've never heard of the Force granting such a gift. Tell me, how does her power work?
All I know is when Master Nomen Karr brought her to Nar Shaddaa, this Padawan sensed darkness in your spy simply by seeing him.
Seems far-fetched to me.
I have witnessed many unlikely things in my lifetime, apprentice. If this young Padawan can see through deception and disguise with such little effort, she threatens everything I have worked for. Continue, Republic dog.
Karr believes his Padawan's ability is foolproof, but the Jedi Council is skeptical. I was to provide the proof, but I wasn't able to report my findings.
We have to kill this Jedi in training.
Yes, my apprentice. Such a threat must not wander the galaxy unchecked. Who is this Padawan, you Republic pest? Tell me everything you know about her.
She was found on Alderaan. Her power first emerged training on Tatooine, and Jedi sent another agent to investigate someone she suspected on Balmorra.
He's fading. Is she human or one of the Jedi's cursed aliens? Where can I find her? What is her name?
I have nothing more.
The Ravager has emptied his mind. That is all we have to go on. A few random places within the greater galaxy where Nomen Carr and his Padawan have been.
Send me to find this Padawan.
You mirror my thoughts, apprentice. Nomen Carr is a relentless crusader, and this Padawan and her unprecedented power threaten everything I have achieved. Your duties are likely to take you to the far reaches of the galaxy. I will need to deploy you at will. You shall have a starship of your own. You've earned it. Go to my personal hangar in the spaceport and claim it.
You bet I've earned it. This is long overdue, Barris.
I'm the one who dictates the timing of such things. I must ponder our next move. Waste no time. Get your starship in my hangar and wait for further instructions.
Yeah, let's go before he tells me to clean all this up, okay?
Did not want that. We've actually already seen this ship, so I don't have much to show off about it. So, you asked why didn't Barris just wait until the agent was in better condition? It doesn't actually work that way. It doesn't matter how good a condition he's in, the thing was quite literally melting his brain. Literally, literally. The idea in lore is that it's consuming the cranial tissue and then kind of shoving it out as it does so. Or if I'm explaining this wrong, think about it like this. His brain was probably melted long before he finished talking. So it just kind of stalls in memory there a little bit. Oh, it's horrifying. Which brings me to Arcana's question. Would you want to use the Ravager again in the main story? Thought about it, but I'm not sure where it would really fit. I mean, it's not like we'd ever use it against, you know, Barrows, for example. Wow. There's no opportunity to do so.
A look at that. We're going in style now.
Shock. Bzz. Oh, no. No shock. Holy crap.
Nice ship. Are you leaving Dromund, Kaas?
You need a lift somewhere?
No, thank you, but I'm glad I caught you before you left. Sylventa Grathan sent me to deliver this token of her appreciation for all you've done for her. It will greatly enhance this new ship of yours.
Does she usually send a Sith to deliver a gift?
Very good. No, that's not the typical M.O. I'm here on behalf of Sylventa's husband, Lord Grathan, who has added his own present to the offering. He claims you know too much.
So, he seeks to shut me up?
He seeks to slice you up. Shutting you up will just be a beneficial side effect. I've murdered just about every form of sentient being in the galaxy, and I'm here for you.
Can I help you?
Nobody better mess with us now.
And obviously the answer to that's a big fat no. I just thought I'd ask. It just... Really? You know, I don't think they ever bring the Ravager up, at least not until the expansion. Is that... Oh my god, the back of my ship! I left behind the back of my ship! And then Qui-Gon gets stabbed. Not that I'm aware of, Warpcore. Nope, 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 nope. Alright, so.
So, hey, I've been thinking, maybe you want to take this shock collar off? You know, as a sign of thanks for my hard work on Korriban. Not that I don't enjoy the perpetual fear of electrocution.
Okay, so, spoilers. If you don't remove her shock collar, you actually can't progress with her story arc. For anybody wondering. So if you want to progress through her story, her quests, you do have to remove the collar.
You've earned it, Vette. It is not freedom, though.
Wow. Now I feel stupid for not asking sooner.
And yes, if you're paying attention, we never used it on her.
Don't worry. I'll try not to give you reason to slap that thing back on.
There will be no gadgets for future punishment, just the lightsaber.
Oh, that's a relief, I guess. No collar, then. So what happens now?
You and me, working together, taking down the galaxy. What do you think?
What? Well, of course. Me and my buddy, the Sith. Nobody's gonna pick on me at school. Sorry. Let's just get going, yeah? You know, I was a slave when I was a little girl. Before I got free. Sort of full circle, I guess.
You work for a Sith, as all in the Empire do, but your collar has been removed.
Right. I do appreciate the difference, believe me. My mother and sister and I were grabbed when I was little. I don't remember much of it. We worked the mines on Ryloth. Then they separated us. I got sold to a Rodian, then a Hutt. Then some sort of weird three-eyed thing.
All of this while you were still a child.
Yeah, I was 7 or 8 by the time I landed with 3 eyes. Anyway, I guess you know you've moved around too much when a Sith ship starts to feel like home.
This is home, and this is our strange little community.
I guess you're right. Watch out I don't start calling you Pops.
I believe that is, in fact, Mission's voice actress, although don't quote me on that. Right.
Apprentice, I trust you find your starship satisfactory?
I'll let you know after I've taken it for a spin.
You are about to get that chance. There is much to be done. My interests must be protected, and my enemies destroyed. Nomen Karr's efforts to expose my spies and prove his Padawan's power to the Jedi Council must meet with systemic failure. You will exhaust yourself in this charge.
Danger only makes things more fun.
The information we siphoned from that Republic agent will be our map. We know my spy on Nar Shaddaa was being surveilled. We know where this Padawan was discovered, where she trained, and that the Jedi have sent someone to investigate my spy on Balmorra. The Padawan will have to be hunted down and destroyed, but first you must secure my network by silencing my spies on Balmorra and Nar Shaddaa.
Why not simply recall your spies?
Their disappearance would look suspicious, and serve to confirm the Padawan's accusations. My spies must die. My contacts on Balmorra and Nar Shaddaa will detail what must be done. Your tasks are paramount, apprentice. Bring cruelty. Bring rage. Bring death.
I don't know about you, but I'm inspired.
This is the beginning of greatness, Vette.
Well, I guess I'm happy if you're happy. So be it. I'm along for the ride, wherever it takes us.
Oh yeah, that's kind of... Anyways, no, what they tend to do, Evo, is anytime there's someone who's a, shall we say, a default romance option, the game tends to act as if they're interested in you, even if you express no interest in them. It may go nowhere, but they still tend to react to things like that.
Ah, you've arrived on Balmorra. Excellent. Your contact there is Lieutenant Malavai Quinn. I trust you'll find him most helpful.
Where can I find this man?
Quinn will meet you in his offices at Sobrick headquarters. We will speak again as soon as he has briefed you.
Seeing you return to the ship always warms.
I don't actually know what the name of is Scotia, what the name is of Scotia's armor. Otherwise, I'd think about it.
Nobody better mess with us now. You're good to go.
Wow, it still won't let me teleport. Whatever. Is anybody near a market right now? See how much Scotia's armor actually costs.
Sir, I apologize, sir. It was the best I could do.
If that's your best, you're useless to me. I can shoot you dead with a clear conscience. Is that what you want?
No, sir.
Then focus, Gillins. Dismissed.
Hello, Quinn.
I apologize for the delay, my lord. Lieutenant Malavai Quinn. I'm to be your liaison here on Balmora.
I'll be right back, but just so you know, he's our default romance option for female, which... Yeah, anyways, I'll be right back.
You say liaison, I say servant.
Yes, I'm in your charge for as long as you are on this planet. Lord Barris will brief you personally, but I'm to acquaint you with the climate here on Balmora first.
I'll figure Balmora out on my own. Just cut to the chase.
Of course, my lord. Even though the Empire wrestled control of Balmora from the Republic during the war, we were never able to completely eradicate them. There is a rather sizable resistance movement.
I just want to preview the damn armor game. So there's Scotia's outfit. Not bad, actually. But 500 million is out of my price range.
If that, then focus.
You say...
Yeah.
I'll figure...
Of course, even though the Empire wrestled control of Balmora from the Republic during the war, we were never able to completely eradicate them. There is a rather sizable resistance movement. No one wants to admit it, but it's clear that the Republic is backing it.
Your local troubles do not concern me.
Of course, I'm sure your work here has much farther-reaching consequences. Time must not be wasted. I have a secure line to Lord Barris. I'll patch him through immediately.
Ah, I see you've convened with my apprentice. Very good, Lieutenant. Leave us. Quinn owes his career to me, but we should keep the details of your mission between the two of us. We must act swiftly. Nomen Karr's Padawan has directed the Jedi's suspicions to my undercover spy there on Balmorra. Do you recall this?
Of course. I remember everything.
Good. I'll get to the point. My spy is Commander Rylan of the Republic Resistance. He is the central contact for all my operatives in this sector. Unfortunately, Quinn is tracking an investigator that the Jedi have sent. That means we have to cover our tracks before you kill Rylon. Your first mandate is to destroy evidence that links Rylon to the sabotaging of Balmorra's defense systems during the war. To do so, you must break into the satellite control tower. Quinn reports that the tower is a death trap of mechanical security.
Are there any special requirements?
Quinn has everything you'll need. I'll summon him back. Remember, he is not to know the reason for your mission. I'll be in touch.
My lord, I've prepared what you need for your assault on the satellite control tower. In order to destroy the mainframe, you'll mount this charge to the base and activate it. Then contact me and I'll be able to detonate.
At your service, my lord.
Now let's see if I can clear up the question queue. It's rather full. What we got here? Do I think that Emperor Vitiate wasn't at his full power? Oh, I think I already answered that. Well, when fighting the Knight. I mean, we know that was one of his voices, so technically the answer is yes. Did Boba Fett surpass Django as a bounty hunter? Yes. What was your reaction to the plot twist at the end of Assassin's Creed 3? I think I've actually talked about that before in the rumination and the stream. But either way, I didn't catch it coming, because I'm apparently a moron. So, it caught me quite by surprise. And I was really excited until I realized that was it and they weren't doing what I wanted them to. But still, it was pretty cool. This is not where I want to be. Okay, the sword. How would... hang on. How would a Tier 0 planet Earth do if it was in Star Wars at this point in history? Not very well. No force, no space travel, no nothing. The Sith would move in and conquer the crap out of us, while the Republic moves in and tries to coerce us into joining them. That's... both sides probably wouldn't even care that much about us other than as a slave population, now that I think about it. Because that's our best resource. People. Oh, I'm in combat. Okay, hang on. Delete. I mean, if Modern Earth was inserted into Star Trek, I'm pretty sure the Federation would be like, hey, there's another Earth. And some people will be like, oh my gosh, that's so weird. And other people are like, oh my god, another Earth? Why are there so many Earths? Damn it. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty much the only person I know who was fully taken by it. I admit it's at least partially because, you know, I thought he was being reasonable for an assassin. In hindsight, it's really obvious, and I feel stupid for not noticing it, but whatever. I was probably blinded by what I wanted to happen as opposed to what was. Oh yeah, we're on a different planet now.
My lord, I mark your progress and see that the charge is armed. I will detonate once you are a safe distance. But first, I have Darth Barris on hollow for you. I will retreat and leave the line secure for the two of you.
Apprentice, we have one more potentially compromising thing to take care of before you can confront my spy, Commander Rylon. It involves invading a Republic keep to find a lowly ensign named Dromund. He is Rylon's son, and the commander confided his true identity to him. Ensign Dromund must be silenced permanently.
It will be my pleasure. I'll make sure he never talks.
I'll signal Quinn to give you the details. Be swift.
My lord, Ensign Dromund is being detained in the brig of the Republic Crater Outpost, awaiting questioning by the mysterious agent Barris has me tracking. I will alert you if the investigator appears to be heading there. I assume you wish to get to Dromund before she does.
What can you tell me about the mysterious agent?
She appears to be investigating one of the Republic's own, a Commander Rylon. I'm instructed to keep close tabs, but stay out of her way. I've managed to slice the security you'll need to breach the crater outpost. Transmitting it now. Good luck on your mission, my lord. I'll be here if you need anything.
I mean, I'll spit venom at the Republic 10 times out of 10, but I will also join the Republic over the Sith Empire 10 times out of 10. That's a non-choice right there. I mean, holy crap. Also, part of the problem with your posit there, Latario, is there is no Earth. There's no unified Earth. Only individual nations. It's actually something I've talked about in some of my works. Remember, I mentioned how I would prefer if the Maker was one of the Elven gods. Actually, I would prefer if the Maker didn't exist at all, but... and that wasn't what the Chanter described, but wouldn't most Andrastans react to this with, oh, that's not the Maker then? Oh yeah, no, they totally reject it. Even if it was true. Like, absolutely, no question. That's not the Maker. Don't be silly. You have to understand, the Maker is love. The Maker is life and joy. And amazingness, and not horrific, hedonistic death doom. Those are really, really strong supports. I cannot believe those didn't aggro me. Oh, I heard them aggro him, though.
You're good to go.
Hut space. I mean, Republic or the Huts, that's not a great choice.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Pipe down, Dromund. There's something going on outside. I'm trying to listen.
Oh, come on, Six. Throw me a bone. Who's this agent that's coming to interrogate me? At least answer me that, will ya? Fine, fine. Stay clamped. I don't care who it is, I ain't talking. Nobody's gonna get nothing out of me. Nothing. What? All right,
12 seconds.
I ain't proud. I give. My dad's an Imperial agent.
What did you say? Your dad is a what?
All I heard him say was, I'm ready to die.
Oh no.
This is a restricted area. What are you doing here? Who are you?
It's not a who. It's a what. It's a Sith.
He's going to need a new pair of pants.
Who cares what Dromund needs? You gave me enough time to get what I need.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Take a look behind yourself, Sith. That's what 2 squads of the Republic's finest looks like.
Finally, a fight worthy of me.
Come on, men. Let's send this Sith home in a body bag.
Hold on. Those what? 4 people now no, hang on. 7 people constitutes 2 squads? How do those numbers work out?
Zix? Zix? Come on, talk to me, Zix. Get up, man.
You're a pathetic waste of human space.
You're right. You're right. I'm worthless. Please. Please, I know why you're here. The Republic's investigating my dad, and an agent's coming to put the screws to me. But I won't break. I promise. Let me live. My dad's secret is safe with me. I'm a rock.
I mean, if we discount him, that still makes it so 3 people is a squad, which... I start to question your terminology at that point.
You must think I'm an idiot.
Fine. You're an idiot. If it'll save me, I'll think whatever you want me to. My father's done so much for the Empire. Look, maybe the apple fell off the tree. Kind of far from the tree, but it's still... Look, the apple's still... Look, I'm not exactly sure where I was going with that, but please don't kill me.
I'm putting you out of my misery.
But who will put me out of my misery?
Oh, don't worry about that much. Not for very long, anyways.
Poor fool. Not sure we've ever come across anyone so useless.
Not everyone can be as talented as you, Vette.
A compliment. I'll take it. It smells awful in here. Let's move on, shall we?
Yeah, can you take off that slave collar, Vette? Because you're not... Like, it's not even there anymore. Like, you realize that, right, Vette? Vette? Okay, whatever. I suppose I have no idea what a Republic squad is. I usually think of a squad as 8. I've seen 12-man squads, too. Yeah. But yeah, each squad is 3 normals. That's not great. Platoon is 32.
I must be honest. Your success at the Satellite Control Station and Republic Crater Outpost has surprised me, my lord. I computed the likelihood of success as nearly negligible. In my assessment, however, I only considered the capabilities of a typical Sith. Clearly, you are not a typical Sith. I will adjust future calibrations to account for your unprecedented abilities.
Don't let it happen again, Imperial.
You'll find my learning curve to be exceptionally responsive. Lord Barris is pleased. He says it's time to zero in on your prime directive, and he awaits your contact. My barracks are yours. Activate the holocommunicator in the next room to speak with Lord Barris. The line is secure.
I'll call Barris when I'm good and ready.
Whenever it pleases you, my lord. Make yourself comfortable.
Oh, absolutely, Lothario. You kidding me? As I've said, I've done a few stories of different types, which all boil down to a non-unified world. Joining interstellar power tends to cause issues.
Nobody better mess with us now.
I hope you can see the smile on my face, apprentice. You are turning me into a true believer.
Wait a minute. Let me pinch myself.
I'm sure you're impatient to complete your time on that little rock. With the satellite tower computer destroyed and Commander Rylon's son neutralized, my spy's tracks are covered. Now the only threat to Rylon ever being exposed is the man himself. It's time to end that threat. Permanently.
I'm going to wipe him off the face of this planet.
Ready and able. That's what makes you such a lethal and valuable asset. I've had him embedded within enemy ranks for decades. The extent of his contribution to the Empire's interests is unrivaled.
I'll be sure to thank him before I kill him.
At your discretion, apprentice, but that won't be necessary. The Jedi investigator must have no hard evidence that Rylon was killed to silence him. It must look like anything but a targeted execution. Annihilate everyone there.
There won't be a heart left beating.
See to that. I've summoned Lieutenant Quinn. He'll prepare you for your final task.
Your final target is the Balmoran Arms Factory. The Resistance forces recently captured it and made it their headquarters. An incursion into the arms factory will be a monumental feat. I'm excited by the prospect of you laying waste to that place.
Just spit out the details, Imperial. Try to contain yourself.
Yes, my lord. I will not stray from the facts again. All right. The Republic Command Center is deep inside the arms factory, the most heavily protected installation on the planet. In order to reach Commander Rylon, you will have to make your way past all of the factory's defenses, which are considerable.
The tougher, the better.
Stationed inside are an estimated 1,000 of the Republic's best-trained soldiers. Specifically, Rylon's elite squadron is responsible for some of the most precise...
Quest objective, 0 of 1,000.
They're legendary.
I hate them already. I'll feed off that.
The Empire's cause here on Balmora will be greatly advanced once they're gone. One final thing. The investigator that the Jedi sent has been concentrating her activity around the arms factory. I have her under minute-by-minute surveillance. If she becomes a problem, I'll contact you on your comlink.
Do what you have to do, Imperial, but only bother me if it's dire.
I hope there will be no reason to disturb you.
Yeah,
I will be here to salute you when the Balmoran arms factory is a smoking husk, my lord.
Probably, Latario. Alright. Well, nope, no time for questions. Only go. Let's see here. If a collection of universes are a multiverse, what's a collection of multiverses called? Ironically, it's still just called a multiverse. Do I think Quinn would be an officer that could please Vader? Yes, I do. Especially since he tended to get results. Now, the catch is, if Quinn betrayed Vader for any reason whatsoever, Vader wouldn't put up with that at all. But yeah, I was thinking Piet, you know. Vader actually likes competency. It's a common trend in several of his works. Like, I know, there's a lot of different Vaders, but you get my point. Let's see. Despite its flaws, what are some things the prequel trilogy did better than the original trilogy? I mean, the CGI is obviously better. Although I suppose that's cheating. There are, in fact, more Vaders than Palpatines. Seriously. One of the Vaders was a robot. So I'm trying to think of something... I'm trying not to cheat. Like, think of something that's graphical or in terms of cinematography or whatever. But something that's just better, you know, on the story axis about the prequel trilogy than about the original trilogy. Give me a minute to think on that.
You're good to go.
Oh, it's dead. Hey, Vette. Check out my lightsaber. Yeah. Yeah. Check me out. Oh, yeah. Lightsaber time. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep, I'm so lightsaber I can go through the elevator. Nope, I'm stuck. Yeah, I threw up my back. Vette! Could you fix this? Please. Alright. I got something for you, and I know this is going to be contentious, but I stand by it. The prequel trilogy did Palpatine better than the original trilogy did. Now, a little bit of that is because of density. We got a lot more Palpatine in the prequel trilogy than we ever did in the original trilogy. And Ian McDiarmid is still Ian McDiarmid, right? Like, the man just sells the role, always has.
The factory is under attack. Headquarters has been breached and casualties are severe.
Keep your wits, Captain. What do we know of the enemy?
Target is carving a bloody path in this direction. Unconfirmed reports suggest it's Sith.
First, I'm going to kill your men, then you, Rylon.
Commander, contact confirmed. The enemy is Sith. Repeat, the enemy is...
I can see that, Captain. Shut up. Sith, I know why you're here. Be aware that these are the finest troops I've commanded in all my decades of duty.
I'll take pride in slaughtering them.
Captain Elgin, engage at will and hold the line. I'm coming with reinforcements. Right on out.
You're about to find out what we're made of.
Your commander will be too late.
We've killed Sith before. I'm sure he'll understand if we've already left to celebrate.
You're not very funny.
I'll have time to laugh later. Men, attack!
You're good to go.
Commander, he should have been here by now.
Your commander is an Imperial spy.
You lie. Please, it can't be.
Must you rub it in, Sith?
It gives me extreme pleasure, Rylon.
Commander, no. Tell me what the Sith says isn't true.
I'm sorry, Captain Elgin. All these years I've been a loyal soldier of the Empire.
I can't believe...
It's unfortunate they were on the wrong side. They were excellent soldiers and exceptional men.
Why didn't you convert them to our cause?
I followed Barris's orders to the letter. Recruitment was never my purpose here. I serve for the glory of the Empire, but the life of a spy is a slippery one. In essence, I had to become a Republic soldier, and I've done things against the Empire that have sickened me.
Now you die like a Republic soldier.
Before I embrace my end, there is one thing I must know. My son. He was the only thing in the world that was truly mine. And in love or weakness, I told him my secrets. I know you had to cover my tracks, but please tell me, did he face his fate well?
He whimpered like a craven coward.
I see. You've crushed my spirit. Now the death of my body is a formality. When they find my corpse, there must be evidence of a valiant fight. We must make this look convincing, Sith. So I will not hold back. I will fight you as though you are my mortal enemy.
Maybe I'll break a sweat.
Then arm yourself. Tell Lord Barris it has been my great honor to serve him.
How far are you, Evo? In your Sith Warrior storyline? Rylon's actually legit. There's a lot of legit characters in Sith Warrior.
My lord, I believe we've got trouble. I heard your entire conversation with Commander Rylon.
How could you hear my conversation? Have you been spying on me, Imperial?
No, my lord, as I told you. I've been surveilling the Jedi investigator. Apparently she bugged Rylon's quarters, and as she listened in on your conversation, I heard what she heard. The investigator knows everything, my lord.
The same can be said of you now.
Yes, but I pose no risk to Lord Barris. If this investigator gets away, she'll expose everything. She was heading to her ship, but I had my men move in and cut her off from the Republic landing bay. I am systematically blocking her avenues of transmission and escape, herding that Republic scum to her only hope, the spaceport at Sobrik.
How does she expect to survive an Imperial spaceport?
My men report that she's wielding a lightsaber, my lord. This investigator is a Jedi Knight. Unless you stop her, she's more than capable of fighting her way through the spaceport and commandeering a ship. I'll be able to delay the Jedi long enough for you to engage, but I advise caution when facing her.
Killing Jedi is old hat for me.
But my concern is unfounded. My apologies. I will gather my remaining men and meet you at the spaceport. We will crush this Jedi.
Well, I know you can't possibly keep up with me, Eva, but I'm going to extend the invitation just in case. That's back there, right? Yep, okay. Once I get caught up to you. Oh, I murdered the crap out of his son. He wet himself. Yeah, we can be really rude. Like, really rude to Quinn. Honestly, I haven't been as rude as you can be to Quinn. Quinn tends to be very results-oriented, so he tends to not give a damn. I think's not Warp Core, but that's just my opinion. I feel like it lacked any kind of impact. It did have this nice flow to it, though.
Huh?
Hi.
You're too late, Sith. I already transmitted the conversation between you and Commander Rylon to the Jedi Council. Nomen Karr has his proof. Now Master Karr and his Padawan will track down and expose every Sith agent in the galaxy.
Mark my words, they will be hunted every step of the way.
You fight for a losing cause, Sith. I have purity of purpose. I seek neither thrills nor satisfaction. Unlike you, I am calm.
Unlike me, you're about to be dead.
If you persist in this aggression, I shall be forced to strike you down. The dark side shall fail you, Sith. Save yourself, surrender, and the Jedi Council will give you every opportunity to discover redemption.
Save your breath, Jedi. You're going to need it.
Attack me and I will kill you.
Well, let's test that theory.
You're good to go.
A little too slow on that one, but that's okay.
Your victory means nothing. The damage has been done. The proof has been transmitted. So deal the death blow, Sith. I am at peace, knowing that the greater good has been served.
I hate to burst your bubble, Jedi. No, that's a lie. I'm reveling in it. I intercepted your transmission. The Jedi know nothing.
You just earned your pay, Lieutenant.
I'm only doing my job, my lord. I had her monitored and screened the entire time. There was never any risk at all.
Gloat all you like. It means nothing. I remain at peace. And Nomen Karr and his Padawan will still defeat you.
Tell me the name of Nomen Karr's Padawan.
I will never betray her identity. I am resigned. Strike me down. I offer no further resistance.
I'm not going to object if you want to die.
There is no death. There is the Force.
And then she dies. I guess she was wrong. Oh.
How bizarre. She just closed her eyes and accepted death.
It almost took the fun out of killing her.
No matter. The threat is ended. Lord Barris will be anxious to learn what became of this. When you're ready, I'll contact him from my office.
The old man can wait.
Of course, my lord. Take your time. I'm not seeking to impose. I'll be waiting in my barracks.
So what'd you do, Evo? Well, yeah, you killed her, Evo. You extremely evil person. How could you kill somebody? This is a good point to use the Ravager again. I'll actually give you that. Just leave it on us as we roam around. Here's the thing. As I'm saying that out loud, I realize why that I disagree with that. There's no way Barrows would ever trust us with the Ravager. He's way too paranoid for that.
It's not my place, Lord Barrows. I leave that for your apprentice to convey.
Then step aside, Lieutenant. My apprentice has arrived. Nice of you to join us. Quinn refuses to update me, insisting the privilege be yours. I assume the Jedi investigator has been stopped.
Quinn killed her transmission, and I killed her.
Your carelessness created a crisis, but since you quelled it, we can move on. I had hoped to avoid confronting the Jedi, but our hand was forced. What matters most is that Rylon can no longer be exposed. And how would you assess Lieutenant Quinn's contribution?
He was along for the ride.
Lieutenant, my apprentice's demeanor notwithstanding, I have been impressed with your efforts. You have more than made up what is owed to me. I'm putting you up for a captaincy and transmitting an executive order allowing you to station wherever you choose. You are dismissed.
Thank you, Lord Barrows. If my actions benefit the Empire, they benefit me. I would have done the same regardless of our past. My lord, before I depart, it's been my extreme honor to serve you. You are the epitome of everything the Empire stands for.
You've been dismissed, Imperial.
Until we meet again, I salute you, my lord.
He will have his hands full. There are powerful Imperials dedicated to keeping him down. But if Quinn can overcome them and rise to the station he deserves, there is great hope for our Imperial allies.
If given the opportunity, he will excel.
Either way, it's not worth worrying about. Quinn's affairs are a speck compared to what we face. Your presence on Balmora is no longer needed. Return to your ship when you're ready to leave. I'll contact you there.
So, we're leaving, right? On to our next exercise in domination and destruction?
Domination and destruction are my favorite pastimes.
It's nice to enjoy what you're good at. Well, I hope the next place we end up has a beach.
Where is she?
All better.
And yeah, deliberate, silly idea. Sorry, I shouldn't... I keep accidentally playing a real character instead of mwah. Sorry. I can't help it. What do you want from me? I like how Evo didn't even respond to my offer. That's okay. I don't blame her. Oh, for God's sakes. Forgot we had an ambush here.
You're good to go.
Yeah, let me run over Quinn a few times here. No, it's fine. I accept you saying no. Having to group with me would be terrible. Plus, you'd have to keep up with me. And, you know, the relentless pace that I demand. Delicious celery.
My lord, I hope you don't find my appearance here obtrusive. I beg an audience.
I'd hoped I'd seen the last of you.
My apologies, my lord. Perhaps my presence is unwelcome, but I hope to remedy that. As you know, Lord Barrows enabled my reassignment anywhere I choose. It is an evolution I've longed for and assumed would never come. Aiding your mission on this planet has reawakened the ambition I began my career with, to make the most profound impact possible for the Empire.
We share the same desire, Captain.
I sense that as well, my lord. I cannot think of a more glorious and honorable way to make a difference in the galaxy than to serve you. I'm here to pledge myself to you. I'm ready and willing to serve in whatever capacity you see fit.
An intriguing idea, Quinn.
Yeah, I'm so intrigued, I could yawn.
You always keep me laughing, Vette.
My lord, if given the chance, I know I will prove myself to you. I'm a top-notch pilot, military strategist, and a deadly shot. I can fly this ship, plan your battles, assess your enemies, and kill them. You won't find a more tireless and loyal subject. I offer my military prowess and dedicate every ounce of my strength to your cause.
I would be pleased to have you, Quinn.
The pleasure will be mine. Thank you, my lord. I will submit my reassignment papers as we depart.
So I think, Lothario, for romance, I would go with Win. For remain as good friends, I'd go with Meryl. And for strongly dislike, I'd go with Veliana. Big like that. Let's see. Don Crow asks, who's the most non-Sith Sith? The guy we turned to the good side over on the Jedi Knight side. I don't even remember his name, but he's probably qualifies. What do I think Palpatine would have done if Dooku convinced Anakin Palpatine was the Sith behind everything? He would probably try to roll with it. One of Palpatine's greatest traits is actually his ability to adapt, not merely plan. How high up on my priority list is God of War 5? Well, if you go to lorerunner.com and hit the list, you'll see exactly where it's at on my priority list. To the percent, even.
Apprentice, I see you are ready to put Balmorra behind you. Good. The elimination of Commander Rylon grants security to my spy network, but there is still more to be done.
I won't disappoint you.
You haven't yet, but every new challenge offers the chance of failure. Now, before I unleash you on Nomen Karr and his Padawan, you must eliminate my spy on Nar Shaddaa. Head there immediately.
If this... Oh, God damn it. Hang on, that screwed up the formatting. If the Sith Warrior was sent to Harkin, do you think he'd favor the Sith Warrior? Depends on our species.
Apprentice, I see you've landed on Nar Shaddaa. It is, I'm afraid, the armpit of the galaxy.
Must be your kind of place, Barris.
In my youth, perhaps. Nar Shaddaa is a planet of frivolity and distraction. Gambling, spice, rampant black market and gang territory disputes. But you are there to eliminate my spy, Agent Delicon. Normally it would be a trifling task, but Delicon has acquired a powerful ally.
Surely this person wouldn't dream of defying you.
He seems to relish it. Agent Delicon's new benefactor is a young Sith Lord named Rothari, an upstart who openly disrespects my methods. Rothari prefers a more blunt approach. The Dark Council has granted him dominion over Sith interests on Nar Shaddaa.
All that's about to change.
I would celebrate the day that nuisance was quelled. Agent Delicon knows much about my organization. I cannot have Rothari in possession of such a resource. Burn Rothari to the ground. Destroy everything he's working for. And kill Agent Delicon.
They will suffer as no one has suffered.
Haladrel Setson runs my slave operation on Nar Shaddaa. She has been a valued operative for many years. She is ready to receive you and can fill you in on Rothari's movements and interests. That is all.
Hi, Jung. Hi, Shone. Why wouldn't I like Liliana? Because you only give me one option, and I'd take Meryl over Liliana 10 times out of 10 as a friend.
Have you ever heard of Nock Draen? Pirate. Terrified the criminal world for a few decades.
As it happens.
He destroyed the Wrath Cartel and the Vandalhelm Combine in some giant power grab. Same guy?
Yeah, same guy. Weird to think of him that way. Nock Draen was the most famous killer in the galaxy. But he set me free. I was still slaving it up for Three Eyes when he crossed Nock. Or maybe he just had something Nock wanted. I never did ask.
Did any of the gang survive the encounter?
You mean anyone that wasn't owned as property? No, they did not. I'm still not sure how Nock got his speeders into the camp. One minute they weren't there, and then they were. He was ruthless, but not a thug, you know? Sort of a pirate prince. Freed all the slaves, and told them they could join up, or go their own way.
I assume you saw the opportunity for plunder and seized it.
Well, I wasn't gonna go wander off on whatever waste of a planet we were on. I was the smallest on the crew, and mining had taught me to fit in tight spaces. Nock's crew showed me how to steal. For a long time, I didn't feel bad about stealing. So much had been taken from me.
Even the small action of taking gave you control of your life. That is everything.
Well, it's a long time ago anyway. Let's get back to work, yeah?
Oh, Jesus, that's a death sentence no matter who I pick, Ickett. Satil Shan.
My lord, I have settled into my quarters and fully acquainted myself with the ship. I am at your disposal.
I want you on a persistent state of alert, Captain.
I won't disappoint, my lord. I am fully trained in all aspects of operating this vessel. I can navigate and pilot it to perfection.
You'll have to prove yourself, Captain.
I'm ready, my lord.
Veliana. Which am I pronouncing it wrong? God, I don't remember how to pronounce her goddamn name. In Dragon Age Awakening, there's this elf woman, Litario.
You wish to speak?
Yes, my lord. I wanted to update you on the condition of your ship. It has responded extremely well to my optimizations. I'm pleased to report that we are operating at peak efficiency.
I'm glad to hear it. Keep up the good work.
I fully intend to, my lord.
If there are deficiencies you see, or suggestions you have about my operations and missions, I want you to speak up.
I will make such things clearly known. You can count on me. Permission to speak freely, my lord?
You may always speak freely, Quinn.
I'll keep that in mind. There's a reason I was languishing on Balmora before you arrived. A decade ago, I served under Moff Broysk at the Battle of Druckenwell. Moff Broysk made a critical oversight that brought the fleet to the brink of complete defeat. I ignored his order and turned the tide to victory.
I take it the Moff took exception to that.
Your intuition is flawless, my lord. Broysk took credit for the reversal, which is fine. But then he court-martialed me. Darth Barris assigned me to Balmora, or my career would have been over. Moff Broysk has blocked every transfer and promotion I've been up for since.
I have no tolerance for fools like this Moff.
I could say more about him, my lord, but my point is made. I serve you now. I have no regrets. I'll return to my duties.
I don't think we'll get any meaningful work done on Nar Shaddaa, so let's go ahead and chop here for the day. Let me update my notes a little bit. let's get some preload Nar Shaddaa music going. Is that everything? Yep, that's everything. This is where we're at so far. I'm going to do some off-camera work, obviously. But tomorrow we will not be streaming. But so, Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will continue Sith Warrior, probably finish Sith Warrior Monday. That's a very real possibility. And then we'll go ahead and start up an Agent. Probably Tuesday. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you next time.